actually ever write the summaries, so let's do this from the top of my head. I'll just summarize. I mean, we've done it's been a week, right, since we did our full session, where you guys were able to, through either divine providence, sheer luck, or a ambiguity of the text, you guys think you have found a fruit of the sun. And at the carnival, where you had a blast doing carnival-like activities, you then followed that up by going to Limstella something. Limstella's the leader of the eclipse. You went to her greenhouse with her key. You defeated several Rosamar and were able to find a lunar lotus, which seemed pretty like dew of the moon, as someone said. No, you can't really imagine anything more dew of the moon-esque than what was coming out of that lotus. So you gathered that up, and then in lieu of taking a long rest back at home, you all went over to the ruins, had a nighttime hike guided by Teo, came within the protection of the Mythal to long rest. And so you can go ahead and run a long rest on your character sheets right now, but we'll actually go through the motions of that long rest. I think this song is actually really fitting for our long rest. Yeah, we're gonna try to keep this to 3 hours, and is 3 hours our cutoff, or 3.5? I mean, 8:30 8:30 y'all's time is the cutoff, so 7:30 my time. Am I correct in that? Or am I wrong?
You got that,
okay.
I believe.
No, that can't be right.
It's a 9 hour time.
Yeah, 9's fine.
Okay, yeah, because that would be 2 hours and 15 minutes. Okay, cool. Well, let's get to it. You all are in the very moonlit area because it's kind of the dead of night. About to settle in for your 4 hours of trance. Who is doing what?
Talia will kind of fluff out like a silken shawl almost, and kind of set it up so that she doesn't have to kind of squat down and sit on like grime and unkept stone and abandoned earth, still maintaining a pristine appearance, and will just begin to trance on as she trances. She's just going to guide her thoughts toward almost entirely Sehanine, the Moonweaver, and just thinking through, what is your nature here? Are these really the ruins of the Alealor? Did Telperion really find things like this, as Minerva has suggested? Just like really trying to, almost connect with this strange place, but nothing too specific, just kind of guiding her thoughts in that way.
Okay. I will say, as Talia trances, she, in some ways, is probably finding this trance, to be a somewhat semi-religious experience of she has gotten out of her norm and she is out in the woods, in something she wouldn't normally do, under the moon, trancing under a pretty almost a full moon trancing. And so in some ways this is a rough and tumble new way to access her religion. And I think that in her trancing, Talia would just be intrigued by the concept of the longevity of the moon that she rests under, and nothing specific to the current political or creature circumstances will come to mind, but there is a remembrance that the Ithilwinge, as they currently are, is not that long in the span of things, and there is grander history than the elves may be currently comprehending or thinking about.
Very cool.
No one else has tranced this campaign, besides Telperion and Talia. Does anyone have a trance they would like to ask about or describe, or just even share where you're directing your thoughts during your trance? I might not have something for you, but you can tell us what your character is ruminating on in their half partial dream state.
Teo is wondering about what's behind the doors. He's very curious about where we are and just like what comes next, I guess. Like there is a curiosity as to like what's it gonna be like in there, you know? Are there other types of plants, animals, or will we meet people? That kind of stuff.
Can you tell me, would you say Teo is like normally a little like, is he normally a curious person, or has this all kind of awoken a new curiosity in him?
I feel like this would be like extra specially curious because it seems like it's a new location that like people haven't been to in a long time. So I feel like there's something special about it. Whereas in like the woods that he typically spends a lot of time in, it is, you know, you said he's not a ranger, but he is kind of like ranger-ish.
Yeah.
He is very naturey as a rogue. So I feel like since he's spent a lot of time there, maybe it is getting a little like old and stale, and this is just a little bit like different because it is new and unique.
And I would say this also kind of awakens a curiosity and an itch to be moving. And I definitely think you're the first one to wake from your trance, but also like in the context of things, like Teo's from the Wild Mines. He's been skeptical of Telperian's story. But like Talia, you also are like, you found something new. And this is something that's like thrilled you to your core. And I don't think Teo is necessarily thinking he needs to set off to go discover new things, but I think that this is a feeling that is causing some unsettlement in him, and that might linger with him once he's conscious.
Okay.
Anyone else? You're free to say pass if you're not interested.
You know that scene from The Matrix where Neo is fighting Morpheus?
Yes.
That is like what Soulmate is trancing about.
All the battle simulations.
Yeah, it's like a battle simulator.
Soulmate is
You
so
like puppy dog like shooting your wand in your sleep, like moving around, like
yeah, you
twitching.
know how like dogs like twitch in their sleep, like
Yeah.
and it's like not a full movement. That's what I'm doing. I'm like twitching. You know what I mean? Like it looks like I'm fighting in my sleep. Trance.
And it sounds like this has also been pretty, and like I'm speaking to the trance, but also to like the kind of feelings coming out of it. It sounds like this has also awoken something new in Stillmay, and like this feeling of like I should be doing more than I've been doing is also, and like I didn't realize I was good at this in the way that I am, and I'm excited to go test myself. And this awareness that like things have gone pretty well so far, and she is curious and probably eager to see if they keep going well for her.
Oh yeah.
Excellent, thank you. Svendrin, are you interested, or are you gonna just kind of pass it on?
I think Svendrin has like on rare occasions where there's like she's anticipating the next day to have like conflict or swords drawn. Trances on those night will be just full remembering past battles, thinking about strategies, thinking about the group she's with right now, and is very like plan heavy.
Okay.
And a feeling of like responsibility. So that's like she feels responsible for the group and therefore wants to plan and think about how we can succeed in those sort of things.
And I'll say that probably that responsibility is probably like overwhelming her consciously, and so like getting to like, because thinking about not just this group, but like this group is doing something that could result in, you know, precious information or something that could upset the entire culture. So it's a lot of weight on Svendrin's shoulders. Duvain, anything you're processing while you sleep or dwelling upon?
He is having he's a very restless trance. Thoughts of selfishness versus friendship are floating back and forth. He's part of him is thinking it's been a sweet 150 years riding the coattails of the Loon songs, but with the threat to Tnufael Loon song. No, did I get it right?
Tnufael. Yep.
What's her title?
Aranel.
Aranel. With the threat to the current Aranel Loon song. Wondering if he is now going to be part of a sinking ship, but also countering that with this close, endearing friendship he has grown or cultivated with Minerva, that probably taking a bit more of a hold in his mind and heart.
And I don't know.
Also making him like stirring him forward and wanting him to like wake up early and get through this door as quickly as fucking possible.
Yeah. I won't speak too much to that besides saying I don't know how many ships you've seen in your woodbound existence, but I imagine that the image of like small toy boats on the lake of the Mooncrest Grove, you keep picturing them in a storm, wondering you should take yours and run or let it stay with the group. All right. Well, let's proceed. We all awake from our trances. Minerva also has a more peaceful trance than she'd think, granted the amount of uncertainty and hope that are both kindled in her at the moment. But she maybe awakes to Teo moving, rustling about. All right, are we all ready to begin? I imagine we're all eager to see what's behind this door.
Yes, I find myself compelled to just appreciate the beauty of this place, even not knowing what is within yet. Thank you for bringing me along on this adventure, I suppose.
Well, thank you for joining, and that goes to all of you. I can't claim I gave you vague promises of aid from loon songs of friendship, or depending on what we find, maybe you'll be able to make a request of the Erenel herself, should she stay that. But I'd like to remind everybody, we're looking for anything in these ruins, or temple, or whatever state it's in, that could prove to either Myelite, Wildvine, or any of the other council members that Telperian's actions have had real value to our culture, and perhaps even Castanufel's guidance. The culture, the group, the elves on a whole could trust the Erenil again, and trust to see her children want the best for them as well. Do we have the objects ready? The flower and the fruit?
I believe Silme has the lunar lotus.
And I pull it out from my like robes, out of a pocket, a secret pocket, and produce it.
All right. Well, let us go test this door and our keys. So I assume, without further ado, our group proceeds down the slope, watching as these towers just really do gleam in the moonlight. And there's no illumination though besides the moon itself. Unfortunately, the moon is very strong tonight. The clouds are few.
At this point, after 4 hours of trance, it's probably like nearing morning to some degree. Yes.
I would say, I mean, I was thinking we got here at midnight in trance, so I'm thinking it's like still kind of moonlit, but not. Yeah, so not no one is seeing.
Right, no sunlight yet, but
no
yeah. Just wanted a time understanding.
Perhaps nearing twilight, but I would say the skies are still dark.
Beautiful.
All right, so we go up the stairs. We see the door, tall stone door as it was. The silver and gold are probably a little dim to our dark vision senses. But yeah, we can. On the right was the moon up above the tree, and on the left is the sun up above the tree. Those basins still sit empty, parched.
And who had the sun fruit that
Several
we
of us,
acquired?
right? We got like 3.
Well, who would like to offer theirs?
Svender will just kind of nonchalantly walk over and toss it into the bowl, into the basin on the left.
And I take the lunar lotus and I guess tip it so that the dew can drip out of the flower into the basin.
So you may both do those things. Tabs, come back. So the dew drops in, and is rapidly sucked down that drain. And the fruit lands in the drain and it just kind of plops there.
Svenderin, perhaps it needs to be wrung out to some degree to mirror the dew of the moon.
All right.
A big
so
gauntleted hand picks it up and squeezes some lemon juice into the basin.
Yeah. And Minerva comes over and holds out her hands to Selma and says, "May I?" For the flower. To Selma.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Griff was making noise at me. I'm giving the flower to Minerva. Is that what you just asked me?
Yeah, she was asking for it.
Okay, I give it to Minerva. I'm sorry.
And she just gently lays it down in the basin, like in full. And once in the basin, the flower the flower sits there. And from the drain where everything has been going, water starts to flow back up and out. And it fills that basin, and the lotus floats along the surface. Dew faintly begins with the moonlight cresting through it, drifting from the bulb, and then sprinkling gently across the water surface. The water faintly glows of silver. You notice the right tree in front of you begins to subtly glow as well, and then ignite with moonlight. The same thing is happening over by Svenderin. The juice of the lemonella is gently fizzling as water starts to come up to greet it. And this water starts to tint golden in this juice. The gold tree is then also ignited in subtle warm gold. Slowly, the trees that were firmly set begin to adhere to the stone, and you can see a crease start to form as the metal of these two trees adheres into the stone and is no longer a separate entity locking them, but has just merged with the stone doors.
And now there's a visible crease, almost suggesting these could be pushed open inward or outward, or.
And as you wonder that, the doors ever so gently begin to be pulled apart from within, slowly open. And you look into a dark,
It worked.
cavernous room.
I firmly believe we walk with the Moonweaver's grace. Shall we? Svenderin, Minerva, would either of you like to lead us in?
Minerva ignites with, in the palm of her hand, a small bead of moonfire. She says, "All right, let us see what's inside. Are we all ready?"
Certainly.
And she begins to walk in.
I suppose so.
And these are all very lit with daylight, but picture this as moonlight instead. These are, and I probably should describe the space before I presented this image. So inside you enter, and I won't say it's dim all around you. There is enough light from the moon that it lights up this cavernous temple-like space. The ceilings are very high. You see moonlight pouring in through windows in places, and then just simple open sky in others. But it doesn't immediately seem as if it's like broken. It seems to just be a naturally indoor-outdoor kind of campus all in one. You see trees are blossoming above in the stonework all around you. And you just get the sense that this is just a massive temple structure. You're not even sure if temple is the right word, but that just seems to be the word that keeps coming to mind because of its grandeur. And you see you're in a large open chamber, and then there's just a lot of doors to your right and left and every which way. There's tall structures like towers here and there.
It is breathtaking. And it looks like, although it might not, does it look like maintained? Does it look disheveled? Does it look like, I'm almost getting the sense that it's like strangely well kept, even if maybe overgrown in some ways.
Yeah, overgrown here and there is the right word. This is not perfectly tended, so that middle picture is inaccurate in that sense, although I like the height that presents. This has held, I mean, you don't need to roll a check. This is held together by some kind of magic that in some ways is protecting it, and keeping it from just being dilapidated. Like the word ruins comes to mind because it's so abandoned and it feels so old, but at the same time, it's not crumbling around you.
It's not degraded. It's being
No, yeah. In some ways, this is untouched by time.
Do we get the sense that there's any other like living presence here that's not plant?
Roll me a perception check.
Sentient presence? Oh God.
You're alive. You're here. I think Selmay's a little distracted. I think maybe Selmay's like taking her staff and pointing it just in case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's going on.
Yeah.
Good start.
Well, this
Get that
is
extra one out of the way.
certainly gorgeous and strangely well kept, but I don't think I see any reference to that strange structure you found on the tome, Minerva.
And like upon saying that to her, you look over and Minerva's just like mouth agape. Like, I mean, she spent her life in scrolls and books, and to just walk into this living history is just like almost not diverting her from the mission overall, but just like she has this look of elation on her face. She's like, surely if we don't even find the orrery, we'll have found something I'm sure we could use to provoke them to see things a little differently. What do you all think? Should we try to just walk straight through, or should we wind around first? We could undoubtedly learn much just by investigating the different rooms here.
I would certainly recommend making our way around almost in sort of a spiral fashion if possible, rather than heading straight for the heart of it.
Agreed. We will cover more ground that way and maybe lay eyes on things of particular note or interest.
All right. I don't have a map for you for this place because it isn't exactly what we need. But I will say, as you guys are a little welcome to just kind of explore and see what you find. There are, I'll just lay out a couple different like spaces for you, and maybe you can tell me like as you're traveling what areas you're interested in investigating more. There are so there are as you kind of well, if we go with Svendron's idea of like a spiral, you guys are going to move through a couple different spaces. So there are large like chambers that you associate with probably like organized meeting or prayer or some kind of religious significant spaces. There are gardens that are just mixed intermingled throughout. So there's definitely things you can investigate in those gardens. You find smaller chambers that almost don't quite ring like bedrooms because they're so tall, and but you do find small chambers. You find what you might assume was an armory. So I'll let you guys, if you want to pick 2 or 3, as a collective, step into spaces that really appeal to you and investigate.
What are you guys feeling?
Definitely the armory. If there's some, weapons or armor or, craft of any kind that is clearly not of Ithilwinge make, that would be quite a nice little thing to bring home as proof.
Sure. Okay, yeah, go ahead and roll. So you step into a room that seems organized in its structure with racks along the walls, training dummies in areas, kind of standard areas where there are targets to aim at. And I will say this room isn't loaded with weaponry or even like full intact armor, but if you guys roll investigations, whoever would be interested, I can kind of let you know if you find anything that seems capable of being taken out of here in a convenient way.
Come on, baby. 12.
While other people are searching, I'm just gonna do my ritual cast of detect magic just to see if there's anything in here.
Okay, sounds great. I will say, Svendrin, you find a elvish made short sword that does not seem to be humming with magic. That is kind of just dusty on the wall, abandoned. The design is not modern by any means, but it's nothing that you are looking at it and you're thinking, this is unlike something you ever could have perceived before. So you find that. And is anyone else in particular looking in here, or are we not doing? There is no one. You don't have to be.
Yeah, I just want to kind of glance around and not like focus on specifically finding items. I just want to kind of get more of like a general look around the room and see if I like notice anything that stands out.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a perception check. Oh, yeah, you see an area where there are like it's kind of like chests, and you go over, and a lot of them are just kind of like left open, not like in total disabuse, but not well maintained. And you do find something. So you find this metal sphere. And if you gingerly pick it up, you're just looking at this like kind of metallic object that's round with like ripples in the metal. And on top, there is a gold seal that looks like it could be either like, you're not really sure. Maybe it could be shoved in, maybe it could be pulled out, but you don't quite know.
All right, I'm gonna bring it over to Sven and just like kind of like while she's maybe looking through the swords and whatnot, just like come up and like nudge her and like kind of show it over to Sven.
That was in here.
I don't know. What do you think?
You guys are welcome to make an investigation check to see if, like, just by poking around and not really interacting with it too much, but if you can kind of determine what it might be about. Or Arcana if you're inclined. Steve might be getting a recon soon.
Ooh,
damn.
Dale, you're not quite sure. You've never handled something like this before. But you kind of shake it, you kind of sniff it. You use those roguish ranger senses. And there is, I can't even explain how exactly, but you have a sense that this is a one-time use thing, and there is some kind of magic inherent in it. And pushing that top part, you can kind of like, I feel like you, with your 20, you push a little bit, and you see that it's not for pulling out, it's for pushing in. That would expend its one use. And I'll say that as this kind of concludes, Steve's or Duvane's detect magic goes off. And Duvane, you are detecting radiant magic buzzing within this object.
I noticed that Duvane's probably like looking over at what we are looking at, so I'm gonna bring it over to Duvane and hand it over and be like, it seems magical. I don't know, maybe you can figure it out.
I mean, it's certainly magical. I have little idea what it does. Minerva, what exactly did Telperion tell you? Any idea of what we should be looking for here? Is one, do we need like a piece of evidence or a signature from some sun elves that say, "Hey, we were here"?
Minerva walks over and she does identify require a material component? That's the quiz of a lifetime. Can anyone tell me that?
You can ritual cast it.
You can ritual cast it. It doesn't consume anything, but I think you need like a pearl or something.
I believe it's a pearl, but you could also just ritual cast it.
We'll say she ritual.
One pearl worth 100 gold and an owl feather.
Ew.
Well, she has
Oh,
her
yeah,
and an
okay.
owl feather. Yes.
Yeah, so she pulls those things out. And she's been casting it. She says, "Oh, that's a bomb. I think if you were to push that, it would explode with energy. I don't know what kind of energy, but I wouldn't recommend pushing that while we're all standing here."
I hot potato it like over to Duvane.
Duvane, give me a dexterity saving throw. Just kidding. Duvane, you have a radiant bomb in your possession.
A radiant bomb.
Sure does.
And Minerva says, "Well, I cast Identify, which gives you quite a bit of information. If you, I think whoever throws that has a few seconds after they push the button, they throw it, and then it will explode, harming whatever's in the proximity, roughly 20 feet sphere or circle, and it might have a chance of slowing them down too." Never seen something like that. Duvane, I think we're just looking for artifacts, or I mean, the orrery is what drove me here. I don't know what to find in the orrery, but I'm just hoping we'll find some kind of prize to prove that the Alelor was significant more than our people are remembering.
What is the orrery?
The orrery, she takes out the book, the notebook, or the page at this time, and she shows you a picture. And if Steve remembers, we found an orrery. And so the orrery is what was in, and she will show you a picture and she describes it. And it is a large stone structure with stone rings up and around. And this was at the other Alelor ruins.
Gotcha.
As Steve would know, Duvane would not know. All right, so that's kind of it. That's it for the armory, unless anyone had anything else. And who wants to add the radiant bomb? Duvane? Okay.
Yeah.
Kate, did you have something?
No.
Was there another area that I described that was of interest to you all?
Definitely.
Where was that?
I feel like I would have, Silme might have already gone in that direction, but I would have, if she didn't, I would have like seeing some version of like a kind of formal organized religion chamber where there might be an altar or mosaics or frescoes on the wall. Like she might drag Silme that way and like be pointing out if she can even see like depictions of the Moonweaver and Sanine, or maybe if there's like old dusty like parchment scrolls tucked away in little like cubbies behind an altar. Like she would just be examining, trying to look for unique iconography really in a ritual religious type room.
Sure. Give me a religion check. And you can either do it with advantage if Silme's helping, or Silme can do a check of her own.
Yeah, I was gonna say that Talia found Silme kind of just wandering around, like aimlessly. But like Silme was happy to have like be put in a particular direction and to look at these runes with Talia together.
Very cool. Yeah, I don't need to roll with advantage. I'd love for Silme to get her own roll. Yeah, perfect.
So there's some things that are obvious in here. I mean, the first thing you see is this just gorgeous, massive waterfall that just is coming from the like high end of the chamber, and it like falls on stone, and so stone is like coming out and it like goes down. And it's not the most loud thing, but it's pretty like loud. And here you find like an assortment of just like religious objects. You find candle stands where the candles have been burnt down. In like one area, you find like small altars with scales on them. You find desiccated herbs here and there, prayer bowls with like these like wooden dowel stick things that, as just laying about nearby or slightly askew. There are on the wall motifs for your notice. And Talia, you're looking at these, getting a little bit more out of this than Silme, this part specifically. But you notice motifs of elves singing under the stars in a single moon of note, kind of when you walk in. And then
a single moon, as in referencing
Selkniks.
Yeah, specifically.
Yeah, that's the one that you instantly would think of when you see one moon.
Sure.
And then as you walk, you see a slow progression of what you can only think would be the birth of the other moons. So slowly stars blossom into full moon, and the elves are singing under each of these until the elves sing under 4 moons, all of different sizes and tinted differently. And then I'll say over on Silme's side, where you're walking, you see these ancient elves depicted among the Feywilds, dancing with satyrs and nymphs, playing flutes around fires and glades, and just very joyful expression of a time before your people were known to be in this world. That's kind of all that you detect here.
It is beautiful.
Kind of has her like eye or her mouth like kind of agape, and she's like tracing the pictures with her finger.
Perfect. Teo and Duvain, were there areas you were more keen on checking out?
Duvain's looking for books.
Okay.
A library, any sort of literal document that is transcribing, hey, Alealor were here, or something as literal as possible.
Okay. You find a chamber that looks out into the gardens above and abound, and like you are like kind of higher up, like you take some stairs to get to this chamber, and there's like a balcony, and you look out at the moon touched greenery surrounding you, and you find that this is definitely what would have been gone for a library. It is dusty, is bare. Many of the books you find are very dilapidated. It's in just old, hard to discern. But can you go ahead and roll me an investigation check?
That's funny.
Nice.
Running through my mind palace. This room,
I was just making a preemptive frown because normally I get a +10 to this as roulette.
In the middle of this room is like a stand, and you go over to the stand and you find on it not a book, but like a large stone slate. And on that slate is markings in a language that you are growing in familiarity with, but you have never read this language.
I will probably call over. I forget who read it, but I'm assuming it's something celestial, and I know I've seen this similarly before. So I'll call over probably Talia to take a look-see at the thing that I'm looking at.
Probably lost in awe at looking at these beautiful paintings depicting the birth of the other 3 moons of Eridon, which is wild because there is fodder for theoretics on how those other moons came to be, but nothing concrete in all of our cultural history. And I'm just fascinated with the idea that what if the Alealor knew more? and perhaps with all the starlight motif and the idea that they might have been more connected to Corellin specifically, if we are more connected to Sehanin, what if they had a better understanding of the cosmic scape? And so I'm almost lost. And then Duvain, as you call probably a couple times, I'll kind of shake that off and wander over to you. Yes, Duvain, what have you found?
I will just point to the stone tablet of whatever I'm looking at.
I will say that bookbound as she is, Minerva is with you as well. And so, Talia, you go to look at the this text, and on it says it's probably a better word than librarians in Elvish, but there is essentially the keeper of records of this chamber, and it is a long list of different names of people who have taken care of this space. You see names like Caranthir, Curvo, Tilipe, Maglor, Nea Finway, Kurufin, Amras, all with different indicators next to them that are kind of coded in a way that you don't know what the indicators and the little notations next to their names mean. You might guess they meant dates, but that's not quite right. They're not the numbers that you would know as in Celestial.
And all of this is etched into a stone tablet in Celestial.
And it is not.
This is magnificent. And I will be describing everything you're describing to Duvain and Minerva at my side, saying this is the exact type of thing I imagine we're looking for. This is a record of names. If we can associate these with Aleolor individuals, perhaps cross-reference them with records of the past, this could prove that our cousinkin held positions here.
Minerva looks over your shoulder and she says, "Those names you read, those aren't Italinge names."
Talia just smiles at that.
So I'll kind of let the three of you relish that discovery. Teo, was there a room or any kind of chamber you were hunting for, or that I mentioned that appealed to you?
Maybe, I don't know, just anything where people might congregate in this location. I don't know, maybe where like people might have slept, like I don't know.
Would you look for a vanity, like a plate, like a bathroom?
Sure, maybe that, or like the kitchens or something like that. I don't know, just someplace that might be heavily trafficked at some point.
Okay, roll me just an investigation check. All right. You search pretty briskly to cover that amount of area, and you go through. The bedrooms are large stone. They face outward and to gorgeous views, but they're pretty bare. Besides just like empty wardrobes and large beds, 4 posters. You pass through the kitchens, which is not particularly inspiring, large though they are. You find a common area, maybe a place where people came to eat. It is very gardeny. Like there's a lot of plants around, a lot of pots, a lot of and you, with the wife that you have, are recognizing some of these plants. You do see also statues here, different like reliefs of different elvish figures. And so it's an interesting mix of these stone statues that are mixing with the greenery around them. One of the statues does have like moss growing over in like its face and head.
Okay. Yeah, I just kind of just look around and appreciate the like wonder and just observe things. I don't know. Aimlessly wandering for a little bit.
I will say if you would like to do a nature check, you can check on different like any of those different plants you found.
Sure.
the higher you roll, the more I'll tell you about. All right, so I'll tell you about 2. I'm gonna ask you. So you see an herb, you see a tree with long clusters of yellow flowers, you see a flower that smells particularly sweet, and then you see a fragrant tree with scarlet fruits. Which of those 2 do you investigate more carefully?
The flower that smells good and the fruits. I think the
All right.
last 2.
Okay, the last 2, excellent. You recognize these as not plants that are necessarily common in your wife's garden, but she maybe has like listed them off and discussed them with you. One is lissuine, a sweet-smelling flower, and Anara's mentioned that this is the smell of this flower brings heart's ease, and then it is named harkens to the Elvish word for honey. And then the other one is Meloramire, and this is like an evergreen, fragrant tree with scarlet fruits above it. And the name can be translated in not the common Elvish tongue, but the older Elvish tongue that people don't really speak too much anymore, as the Jewel of Melora.
Are there ample amount of the good smelling flowers?
Yeah.
I will pluck enough to make like a crown out of them, and I will weave a crown as I wander back to the others.
Okay, and as you wander back, you one more time pass the statue that has moss growing on its head.
Okay, and I pause and I stare at. Do I recognize the person?
No, you just think that the moss looks like really overgrown on this statue's head.
I'm gonna give it a quick haircut.
I needed you to do that. All right, so you give it a quick haircut. So as you all come together, you come and meet in an area that like hasn't been explored yet. And I will bring you
just
there.
As a question,
No.
the tablet that Duvain found, is it affixed to that kind of central pedestal, or is it like removable where we could potentially abscond with it and bring it back home?
I'm gonna say it might require a finessed hand to like extract it from the podium that it's kind of adhering to. It is not utterly fixed.
Gotcha.
So with some effort, you could.
Duvain, remind me before we try and leave this place. That should come with us, I suspect.
I had to put his
Worst
other
case-
one-
Worst case scenario, we can take a rubbing or some sort of the words here and bring it back as a bit of a proof.
Minerva pulls a satchel out of her satchel, charcoal and parchment. Would you like to do that now, or would you like to come back?
Might as well do it if you have the
do it
resources
now.
on you.
All right, so the 3 of you work together and you take a rubbing of this. Minerva, scholar that she is, has some like oil, that are like kind of like glue that she then glides over the rubbing so it doesn't smear, and then she rolls it up and puts it in her pack. All right. So you guys then proceed, and you unite in front of an area that you haven't explored yet, which is a exceptionally large chamber, larger than the rest. And you enter this space that has high ceilings, and like you notice the floor has given out in spaces, and along the wall to your right is just rainbow light. And you walk
just shimmering along the surface of the wall
and filling the room, kind of like imagine you walk in further, and you see in front of you a very, very large angelic looking statue made of this like crystal, and a moonbeam is hitting it directly, scattering then rainbow across the room as it refracts through this prism.
Wow.
And I will take you there now.
Oh man,
this music is
that's
so
cool
perfect
as
for this
hell.
scene.
Yeah, the music is amazing.
Like that exact hit when I showed you the scene, the image.
Wow.
And so if you all move in a little bit, I can describe the statue a little bit more in depth, if that is what you do.
Yeah, definitely. I almost feel like in a trance, so to speak, and like almost drawn toward it subconsciously.
So you see in front of you a representation. My map layer of Corellin Lorethian, represented in stone crystal here, from Corellin's arms. And you know that Corellin is a rather ambiguous figure, known for as a representation of transformation and chaotic energy. And so it's not atypical to see Corellin as depicted with different animal parts here and there. In this case, wings don't utterly surprise you. There are 4. And then from Corellin's arm into a pool is a vase pouring water that's also refracting in the moonlight.
And it is still flowing?
Yeah.
Wow. I don't think I've ever seen a statue of Corellin represented quite in this way.
To get further through the room, you notice that there's not really a quite easy, simple path. That there's not a pit. This isn't like utterly fallen through, but something obviously kind of happened here. And you do look, and there's like a tree under, it's like on its side. And then I will just say, as you're looking at that map, it's a pretty accurate representation of the varying depths that there are. Going from the first drop would be like 10 feet, and then it goes down another 10 feet, up 10 feet, and then over another. Posing a semi-physical challenge to if you just wanted to crawl up and down it, but
does it look like there are points of interest past this chamber? Does it look like this is the edge of a chamber where we would have to go back, or does it look like there are corridors and archways where there could be more through this room?
There are archways at the end that are dark and not
okay awful. So additional spaces to be explored. Mm-hmm. I feel like, if you'll allow me, Talia would just be kind of gracefully, almost subconsciously be walking in the direction of just aimlessly toward the statue, just transfixed with the beauty of the moonlight refracting into this prism of color through the statue, and almost literally like a trick of the light, as she walks up to the edge, she just like a glint of moonlight like almost hits you guys' eyes, and she's just has appeared down there with a misty step, just literally like a shimmering, like there's no, like when she casts misty step, it's not this magical ethereal energy that like puffs in and out. It's just like literally she's here, and then like a trick of the light, she is now lower, as she is like, again, like almost in a trance. She's just like wandering up to this thing, thinking it's so beautiful.
Seeing Talia kind of moving forward almost without caution, I'll start getting a scan of the room and see if there's any threats other than just ourselves falling.
Sure. Go ahead and roll me a perception check. So, May, what you up to?
I'm gonna go to the edge and try and figure out a way to climb down.
Okay. Teo?
Talia is.
I'm gonna circle to the right, and maybe since I see Sven's kind of looking around for danger, I'm kind of in the same mindset, but I like to kind of just like get a view from afar, and so I'm gonna kind of circle around this way.
All right. Why don't you roll me a perception check as well? Duvane, what you up to?
Being in like the just I don't know, this big room, I'm probably just gonna be tailing close to Minerva.
Sure.
Just to keep close to whatever she's doing.
And she has strolled this way, and she yells down to Talia. Talia, if anything else, or if nothing else, we brought a few of the council members here. Surely this would impress them.
I must expect so. This is nothing. It has an elvish touch, and it does not feel like our home. I don't see what this could be if not abandoned settlements of the Alealor.
Nor do I know many others who revere Corellin as we do. So Duvain, you're welcome to join Minerva over there. Both of you, Svendrin and Teo, this is a very large room, but from where you stand, there's nothing moving here. And Teo, you look around and there's some dust. This is, not pristine and well swept and kept. And you see no footsteps but your own crews.
Feeling a little more calm, I'll kind of just hop down 10 feet.
Yep.
And look back up and extend a helping hand towards Silme, who seems to be wanting a way down.
Yeah, my robes are really long and definitely get caught up in my legs and arms. So a helping hand from Svendrin is really helpful.
And I'll
Perfect.
help her all the way down.
Okay. Duvain, you kind of look as you watch Minerva as she's debating how she wants to tackle it, but she hasn't really quite decided yet. So I don't know if that prompts you in any way, but that's what she's up to.
I will pop out my wings and ask before I grasp her under the arms and say, how about a quick, gentle lift down, and as a bonus action, give myself 30 feet of flying speed to gently lower us down.
Yeah, and you then would have, 15 movement with her, I think?
I mean, I'm assuming, yeah, it's half movement, so...
I
would look to find somewhere where I could just gently step us down.
Yeah. So maybe this way, and I would say she's amenable, and she'll let you kind of fairy hop her. And this is if you don't go straight down, you can kind of circumvent some of the dropping and go over this way, and with not too much difficulty helping her. And she's physically capable too, so the two of you can kind of fairy step around together like that. Duvain, will you do one more? I'm sorry, Teo, will you do me one more thing? Your roll of 26, your perception check. Can you describe what senses you're using when you're perceiving?
Oh, all of them. I sniff the air, and I feel the pressure of the air in here. Maybe I even get the wind direction.
It's drafty.
Eyes, everything. My senses are all open.
With a 26. I would like you to roll me an Arcana check, which is something I wouldn't normally ask you to do, but your perception check was very high. Okay. All of your senses are telling you this is empty, but you have this tiny elvish spark in the back of your brain that feels a little enchanted by this space. You're not enchanted, you're not enthralled in any way. But there is a presence to this room that kind of puts your hair on edge a little bit with your senses that wide open. That's all.
Okay, I will hop down and join the others.
All right. So, do you believe? I'm gonna say I have one thing I want to do. Duvain, as you're kind of helping Minerva, she has a private moment with you. And she says, I've always been fond of you, and my parents obviously are fond of you as well. They allowed you to go by Loonsong long ago. Topirian certainly will eye you favorably since you've helped me with this. If we can go back with some sufficient proof, what would you ask? Of me or my family?
Simply that the current Loonsong matron stay where she is. rightfully claimed. I already forgot the word.
Aranel.
Aranel. I was going to say Anaril. Rightfully earned, rightfully claimed Aranil of in the Moonset Grove. That's really all I'm asking for, is things for things to stay the way they are. Mistress Tunufael, I think, has done an admirable job as the current Aranil, and I don't see any reason for someone to lay claim against her. Her parenting duties aside, Telperion went off and I don't know, he found something and didn't put the Moonset Grove at risk. It didn't put the Amarin at risk. The Amarin has bigger problems than one elf just kind of stepping off on his own.
Minerva just gives you a look. And it's a look that long friends that you've been says, and what else? And she says, Duvain, you don't have to be so selfless. If you've helped us, we'll help you. What would you want? What would you ask?
Minerva, your family has helped me more than I ever could have asked, and I never have asked. If it were to come to something, I would ask that nothing change between myself and the Loonsong family. I continue to be a gracious courtier in the Moonset Grove, and the Loonsong family continues to accept my presence, even though I'm from somewhere else.
Well, then not my twin or brother by blood, but brother in every other sense. And then the two of you keep hopping along. All right.
The Fey two-step.
The Fey two-step. All right. So can I have everyone, without too much difficulty, actually, I'd like you guys to make some checks. I just want to know how gracefully this descent and ascent.
Oh yeah.
So use the skill, either athletics or acrobatics, that you felt like you were using. I'm not going to tell you how you were maneuvering. Steve, Duvain does not need to make this check.
Could I give Silme advantage with helping her down and up?
Yes, you may.
Do I need to make the check if I misty stepped?
No, but
Have
you're
a
going to
fly
step up
speed.
as well.
That is a good question, and yes, I will.
I'll help anyone up who needs it.
I love Talia burning her slots to keep herself looking graceful.
Yes.
It's excellent. Inspiration.
And I will also just like emphasize, regardless, I am trying to be graceful. But I imagine it probably does look exceedingly graceful in this moonlit chamber where there's just this suffusing, beautiful radiance in the space, and she's just like shimmering out of existence and into existence in other places in this space, because it's just like exactly in line with her magics.
Yeah. Inspiration to crit for the character commitment. I would like to remind you, Vane, that you got inspiration last session. Can't take it with you. This is the last of our arc. Who else is sitting on inspiration? I know Silme is. I think
I mean, you gave everyone at the first session.
No, MK, you're sitting on one for the first session. Tim, you gave the statue a haircut. That was a inspiration point.
Wow, I have one then.
There we go. We're on even footing. Minerva gets one too. JK. She does not get one. DM's not giving himself inspiration. That'd be crazy. All right, put yourselves where you are at the end of all this. Let's check these scores. Did anyone do under? Ooh, Duvain. Wait,
Well, he's
Duvain
flying.
I rolled before you said I didn't need to roll because I have a fly speed.
No, that's true. All right. We all did well enough. Selme, those robes are pretty annoying, but Svenja enrolled to 21, which is enough for the two of you. So without too much pressure, you guys are able to move to this side. And when you are over here, I'm just going to kind of put Minerva where my viewpoint is right now as I'm standing here, just as I describe. So once you're kind of where Minerva is, in this general vicinity, Teo would see this too. You see in front of you 3 statues. Also angelic, not Corellin the Rethian though. The scale, the features, more plainly elvish female, like kind of just angel representations that generally speak to the celestial impression of this place, but do not, give off that same aura that the central one does.
Did Minerva at any point mention, because that she was the only one there, seeing the elf presenting humanoid with wings of Kinsalo? Did she mention that to any of us?
She has not explicitly mentioned it. I will say you can decide based off of how close you are to the court politics of the Nightlamp Palace if you might have heard intimate descriptions of the visitors. I will say Kinsalo's visit would not go without comment, but I don't know how many of you perceive your care. I would say definitely Duvain has heard a description. Svengerin may have. I'll let you make that decision. Talia, Silme, and Teo might not have. So Svengerin, if you honestly, Svengerin, you were probably there.
Yeah, maybe I was on guard or something.
Yeah, well, you were also, you were there. So I'll say that I assume you'd be there with the kind of status you have. So, Duvain, actually, you too may have seen Kinsalo.
So I may, address Minerva and say, is this not quite similar to that character we saw not only a day and a half ago?
I think it is fortuitous that we could remind some of the council that we should be accepting of this individual, Kinsalo, for more than just the propriety of accepting a guest, but also because Corellin took on many aspects, wings not being one that they adorned seldom. They wore them quite often in our depictions. So I don't think that Corellin there speaks directly to the mythology or the lore that my mother spoke of these descendants of Akkadi, but I think it's a good sign.
It is perhaps
unfortunate. It could be wrong though.
Perhaps unfortunate he came to the bird folk and not us. So much could be learned from him, but he has a home he must get back to.
I certainly hope he'll be able to get back to it. Doesn't bode well if he stays here over long. So yeah, past the statues, there are 3 open doorways. And the statues, there's like greenery here. Nothing crazy elsewise.
I am just looking almost for a moment as I'm walking through this place, looking past the beauty of this interior chamber and looking out at like a gap in the stone or a window where the moonlight's streaming in from, like almost, yes, this place is beautiful, but almost can't believe Sehanin's grace has found this place forever, the whole time, even when we didn't know it was here. And just the kind of looking outwardly past the ruins we find ourselves in to the exterior night sky.
I'd also say it seems like although Talia has a little bit forgotten herself amongst all this grandeur, there's a rare feeling for her. All right, how do we proceed?
Do we still there's no sense that there's any other like beings here? We're completely alone.
You can roll a perception check if you'd like. Yeah, this is a very solemn place.
I mean, it is quite clear in the telling of the sundering that the Alealor in force marched out of the Emran.
It is almost so strange that they all would have.
No one
Wouldn't, if they
left
wanted to
behind
participate
take
in
care.
a war? Yes, exactly.
You would hope
Would
to
not
win.
for the warriors and soldiers to have gone and left the people back home, the people with which they had passion to defend and protect their homeland? Why all leave?
You would seek out a war only in hopes of winning it, and if you think you hope to win it, you would, think to return home, and you would need people to tend to that, and it's so complete in their exodus.
I wonder if it was reward or punishment that they all left. Because they must have been compelled if none of them stayed or spoke to any Ithawinge before leaving.
Is there
Which
any...
also brings up a question that I've never thought to ask. Why did none of the Ithawinge go?
That's what Svenderin is...
Just the same as if, why did not individuals of the Alealor stay behind? Why did not at least some of our people venture with our cousinkin? Surely not every single individual was compelled to stay here. People have differing opinions. It makes no sense.
Yes, Svenderin is thinking about, she's coming up on half a millennia. She has seen, the deaths of, no small number of elves who reached, their full age and, tranced away. I'm thinking about, is there any, how prevalent are records of a millennium and a half ago? The Sundering.
I could give a very brief blurb that records exist, but even that is there are artifacts and relics and histories and buildings that may have been maintained there, and there are records of individuals that may have had interactions with the different Aranils and such, kind of culturally significant names, but no, it is still almost 2,000 years ago at this point, and it's not that's 2 elves ago. Generations don't work that way, it's much more staggered. That was probably a dozen or more elvish lifetimes or regents ago, in a way that there's not reliable information on what happened there. Deep in the archives in the Preservus Athenium in the Moonset Grove, for example, there might exist tomes and records where that depict or portray or describe the exodus of the Alealor, but probably still a great deal of confusion of why that was the case.
There hasn't been enough to distinguish from just the general consensus of the Alealor left, the Ithawinge stayed.
It's so nice to have Tim or Crit explain something. I can't wait. He's gonna DM again soon. So those are your reflections as you spend time in this undiscovered ruin temple.
It is also interesting because this seemed almost some sort of a hybrid place, needing the dew of the moon and the fruit of the sun.
Did we find any people's quarters? Was there evidence that there are still people's belongings here, individual, or is
Nothing of
they moved out? You know what I mean? They took everything with them.
That's a really great question. I'm just gonna say nothing of note. nothing overly valuable was left. Maybe you found drawers with some moth-eaten clothing. Not like, essentially, if it was a video game, everything would be unselectable because it was of no significance.
So it's all been looted. So like every container is just like empty.
I mean, I'd say you find like old oil and like evaporated water, like not looted per
It's
se.
got like a weight of 5, but a value of like 0.1.
Literally, yeah.
Yes.
So as we
Ruined book, burnt book, ruined book. That's all that's in Skyrim.
yeah, that is what we're looking at here. As we sit here discussing in the moonlight, this statue turns and it hurls its spear at Minerva's back.
Minerva! I call out in a panic.
The spear goes wide, even with advantage. I rolled a 2 and a 4. And lands off in the grassy brush here. But can I have everyone roll me an initiative?
Oh yeah.
What in the world? Oh, too early. Shit. Sorry.
I feel like we need more stressful music than this.
I literally just changed it.
Yeah.
Dragon Age. It'll pick up, I promise. Okay, I didn't have the turn order thing. How do I add you guys?
Silme, what's your dex?
+0.
Okay, Mike, I go before Silme.
Okay. Oh god. I didn't know you. I forgot you have to like delete all the old initiatives. Okay, Crit, what's your initiative?
13.
Okay, gotta delete your old one. Duvane, what's your initiative? Okay.
10.
Tim, what's your initiative?
7.
So not 12. Svendron, what's your initiative?
18.
Yes, not 12.
All right. Excellent. How do I roll this thing's initiative?
Which one threw it? The middle one?
Yeah, the middle one, which is now spearless. How's this?
Oh yeah.
All right. It has a 12. -2. All right. Svendron, how are you going to react?
Unsheathed sword. Shield was already on arm. My ancestors burst out to the sides of me as I rage. And I do all that. And then I like assess, does this statue seem like aggressive still? Is it moving? Did it throw it and it stayed in that position?
It has a sword at its side, and it is no longer utterly immobile. You're turning to it as it's recuperating from its throw, so it's still animate.
What the world? I mean, I'll run at it and slash at it twice.
Go for it. Roll me some attacks.
23.
Hit.
Becomes 12. 12 slashing.
Okay.
Non-magical, I imagine, is halved.
Sorry. Yeah.
I attack again. A critical.
Hell yeah.
Which becomes 18 plus 2, 20. Slashing.
Oh, damn, nice.
Half down to 10.
Yeah, and then how are we feeling? You're pretty good there. I'm gonna take 5 feet to move away from it.
Okay.
See if it tries to swipe at me if it got to that sword in time.
I guess it has already had a turn, so yeah, it will. It rolls 11. Why can't I do math? 16 to hit.
Miss.
No. 17 to hit.
Miss.
Okay. Misses.
Okay, so I'll do that, and then I'll position again. I'll go here because I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Okay.
Is it targeting you now?
Correct.
All right.
Ancestors are out, and they are harrying it as it tries to look at other of us, and so it has no other.
It's taunted, so on its turn,
It is Talia's turn at initiative 13. I don't think you ended up.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Talia, your turn.
I will see these things lurch out in aggression, and I will reach out to the person I see striking first, Svenderin, and I will use my channel divinity to give you the curse of the blessing of the red moon. You, on the back of your hands, you see little sprouts of hair begin to grow, and you feel your teeth just elongate just the slightest bit, and your pupils dilate, and you take on a very slight kind of feral, savage instinct within you, and now you have effectively pack tactics, as the blessing of the Moonweaver has given you almost a minor blessing of lycanthropy in this moment, and is availed you of advantage if your other allies are near to the creature as well.
Of note, my ancestors are also get some of those
very cool
futuristic changes.
And then so that will be my action to utilize channel divinity, and then with my bonus action I will cast the spell Sanctuary on myself as I pull out a small hand mirror and I catch a refraction of the ambient moonlight in this space, and it effectively sets me on fire. Moon flame, like an aura of energy around my form, just coats my body and just kind of would divert people from attacking me.
Very, very, very
Heck
cool.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Almost like Ultra Instinct type of like aura around my body, that kind of bluish like sprinkling energy.
Gorgeous. Thank you for the description. Very cool. All right, it's the creature's turn, right?
Yes.
That'll do it for me.
All right. You guys watch. The statue doesn't move. From it emerges a creature. This creature.
Oh, holy fuck.
If you Talia.
It's so cool.
Talia,
Yeah, I'm proficient in religion.
Make me a religion check, Talia. Duvane, make me a nature check. Teo, are you proficient in nature?
Yes.
Nature check. If
11.
anyone's proficient in nature or religion, they can make this check. Holy shit, Teo. Holy shit, Svenderin.
Holy
right.
fuck.
To those of you who have over 20, this is in, I've never said this word out loud before. Eidolon. This is an Eidolon, a creature of, essentially a creature of the undead, something that's been brought back by divinity. It is not an undead creature per se. In some senses it is, in other senses it's not. It is a manifestation of like the celestial power, of something that has died and is back for a purpose. All right. So you watch as that creature is moved to the token layer, and with its movement is going to inhabit this statue on the right. And I have them overlaid right now. And Svenderin, it hurls a statue. It hurls its spear at you.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm gonna roll that attack. What's your AC?
20.
I have a 16 to hit.
That'll miss.
Does not hit. All right, so you do not take 66.
That's a
and
chunky
just so you,
spear.
I want to convey the threat of that spear as it annihilates the stone to your here. I don't know where you're facing, right or left. All right, and it is Minerva's turn. And you watch as Minerva takes out her wand and her sword and begins singing as she does. And she begins her blade song. So I'm going to activate. And then with her action, you watch as she begins moving this way. And she starts conducting herself almost with her wand and sword. And her movement speeds up. And she effectively, she casts her spell that I can totally remember the name of, Fleet of Foot, aka Haste. And she's going to use her action, her action for her turn to swing at this thing. I think those just rolled out. Oh my god, I just did the coolest roll ever. And she hits, so she's going to just do a single sword blow. And it takes 10 piercing damage. This statue takes 10 piercing damage.
Oh, that's cool.
All right. It is, and she is going to she's going to move away. And it's going to swing at her. And it misses because these things are rolling very poorly right now. All their rolls have been under 10. All right, Duvane, you're up.
And no one's been hit yet?
No.
Correct. Minerva probably should have been at the start.
Again, I rolled a 4 and a 6. It was insane, and I wanted to be fair. It would have been fun to smoke her, but I did not.
I guess just for kicks, bonus action, gonna pop my flutterby wings out, and I'm just gonna float up into the air towards that statue and then cast Primal Savagery as I'm coming down on it, swinging my bladed wing arms at this thing.
Very cool.
23.
Never
23
seen
hits.
such a malicious butterfly.
Oh, yeah. 5 acid.
All right. Takes 5 acid damage. Anything
Where are
else?
you landing?
I'm landing right in front of it, and then I'm going to back up this way and protect and put myself in front of Minerva.
Excellent. Anything else?
Nope.
Cool. Silme.
All right, I am going to cast Chromatic Orb and blast this one. Oops, not on the right thing. This one and this one using twinning.
Excellent. Go for it.
And I'm going to use fire damage.
Okay.
Hot.
We got it.
Oh, did it go through?
It looks like it rolled it in D&D
And then it
Beyond.
comes through.
Oh, here it comes. Oh,
Okay,
shit!
so that's the first one, and then one more.
Holy fuck.
I did 5.
You do extra critical too, right?
Oh, right, because I'm using my staff as a focus.
Oh, and it does the ivory claw.
It does an extra 3d6 radiant damage when you hit with a critical hit. So let me get that in there.
That's juicy as shit.
Holy
I did
shit.
5.
You did use a cantrip, though.
I'm using a sword. Oh.
Ooh.
Extra 6.
That ain't
Yeah,
right.
Extra 6.
It's hard to let that be as bad as it's hard to see ones on a crit. Anything. I almost
Yeah.
wonder if
It's
we rolled
still 66 damage.
That's 67 damage.
Wait, it's the fire damage and the oh.
Yeah.
Whoa,
No,
holy
no,
shit.
no, no,
Why
no,
does
no.
Yeah,
it
it's
have a plus?
55 plus 6, so 61 total damage, I think, on the left one.
On the left one? Oh my
And then a
god.
miss.
Or whichever one the crit one targeted. I don't know which one you targeted, but
I
The
assume it
middle
was the
one,
left
I
one.
targeted first.
Because that was first.
that
Yeah.
one.
Okay. So that one. Okay. Thank you. So wow, that's 61 damage. Wow. Okay.
holy hell.
How many? And then how much did the one on the right?
Well, it hit for 11.
Oh, okay. So it misses the one on the right.
Yeah.
Wow. Excellent. You just watch as this one statue is just like wreathed in flame, and on very, very, very like structurally wounded. Teo, you're on deck. Tell me anything else you want to do?
Yeah, she just like blows the flame out on her staff, does a
I adore
poof it
that.
out.
Yeah.
Which one did you hit that's like really
middle
wounded?
one.
The middle.
Middle one.
All right. I'm just gonna bonus action, steady aim, and shoot at that one.
Go for it.
Uh, 15.
15 unfortunately misses, except it doesn't miss, but it just lodges into the stone, not quite meeting the statue's AC.
Okay, that's it.
All right. Svendrin.
Last I saw it went into the right one.
Yeah.
And it seems like this one's probably in dire straits if it's trying to escape. So I'll go to here within 5 feet of Duvain in order to attack with advantage.
I think that's actually not how it works. They have to be
adjacent.
near an enemy. Like an enemy has to be near the same creature you're attacking. So it's like if they're starting to go attack people, it benefits you to go help that person.
Oh, within 5
Yeah.
Then I'll have just gone to here.
Okay, swing your sword.
Swing at it.
Hits.
Oh, I was scrolled up. For 5. That becomes 7 slashing damage.
-4 slashing damage. All right. Anything else?
I'll slash it again.
Okay.
18.
Hits.
Nice.
Just hits.
For 11.
Have 2.
Big old 5. And then I move away from it.
All right. It's going to go for that easy bait. These things aren't, I guess they're not that smart. Oh, wait. No, this thing is smart. Whatever. 16 to, or wait, 14, 20 to hit.
That'll do it.
When Minerva
Oh,
do they all move on the same? Yeah, I think it's burnt its reaction still.
It's
It hasn't
20 Minerva.
come back to
Oh,
its turn
okay.
yet.
Oh,
so it's
right.
not 20 to hit. You don't get hit.
Okay.
Oh, it also had disadvantage on that opportunity against Minerva. But okay.
Yeah, but I forgot about that too. But
I mean, I missed anyway. So, Talia, you're on deck. Sven, anything else?
I'm assuming that constitutes attacking or dealing damage to a creature. So I haven't attacked a hostile creature. That's my turn.
Okay. Thank you for that top. Talia.
I am going to I think I gotta cast Moonbeam. It's too perfect in this situation. So I call to the Moonweaver above, and a little separation of the light blasts down on this creature to the left. It will ruin my sanctuary, but that's okay. So I need it to make a con save. And if for any reason it's a shape changer, it would have disadvantage on that save.
This is an inert statue, so I'm going to have it fail that con save automatically.
Okay. So nothing has...
AC is different. So, like, because AC, an object can have AC. I'm just going to have this thing fail because it's just an inert statue with no nothing in it, so it fails.
Is it a creature, or is it just like I have put? Okay, so I put a column of light on Moonbeam on this thing, and if it's not dealing damage,
It will
then my
deal
sanctuary.
damage.
Oh, it will deal damage.
I'm
Okay.
automatically failing the con save with it.
Okay, got it. I will roll that then. Oh, I didn't mean to roll a second time, but same thing. So 13 radiant damage.
Okay. Excellent. Yeah, you're harming a statue right now. Emphasis on that. All right. Anything else?
Just to be clear, I've damaged the statue, but I'll let you get to this later. If I haven't damaged a creature, then my sanctuary should still be around my form. But you don't even have to tell me right now. I don't know what the situation is, but I just want to keep that up if I haven't actually damaged a creature. But that's all I do for my turn.
Well, let's see how things change right now. It's going to use its movement. So from this statue on the right, you watch as this creature dashes over out of the statue into this one. It takes damage by entering that space. It makes a con save. It fails because I rolled a 5. So crit, roll another Moonbeam on this creature itself.
Would I have been able to slash at it?
It went behind, so no.
Gotcha.
Another 13.
Okay. So excellent. So it's gonna throw its stat. This has been this is also taunted. So again, it's gonna target you, Svendrin.
Right.
Oh, but it's not rolling at advantage or disadvantage. It's just a straight roll against you.
Right.
I rolled a 7. Another stone spear explodes to the left of you. Its aim is poor, and that's its turn. It is Minerva's turn now. And Minerva is going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. She's gonna go over here, and with advantage, she's gonna put her rapier right into this one. She rolls high enough to do that. So this is her hasted action. So she's just gonna do this. Oh, I didn't need to roll that. All right, so Minerva puts her sword through this one, and as she's like, as her dancing, flowing movements, then she kind of unexpectedly puts her rapier right through the chest of this statue, and the statue, upon this, pierces and crumbles to stone. So this statue is no more. And then she'll use the rest of her movement to go over here. And she's going to, with her, I'll roll this in here. She's going to make 2 attack rolls. The first one is her attack roll. That's going to miss. So then I'll roll again. This is her cantrip. This is Booming Blade, which also misses. So she misses twice there. And then she will move away, taking its reaction, but it's still a disadvantage on this.
Correct.
And it fails. Okay, so that's Minerva's turn. Duvain, you're up.
How far away am I? No, too far. Has this one on the right taken any damage?
Yeah, it's taken a couple hits.
Okay. Bonus action Flame Blade, and I'm just gonna take out my white moonlight blade and go up and just start carving into this thing.
Oh yeah. Hits.
6
that
to
damage.
hit. 3d6. 12 fire damage to this thing.
All right. This statue is looking harmed.
It's looking cracked.
Anything else, Jubane?
Nope, that's my turn.
All right, Silme.
All right. I am going to chromatic orb again, but this one right here. I'm
Left
not
or
going
right?
to twin it.
Okay.
I'm not twinning. And fire damage again.
Oh, I'm stupid.
Oh, wait,
Can I have anyone who has an intelligence over 12 make an intelligence check right now?
Over 12, so 12
Yeah.
is not quite good enough.
Oh, over 11. Teo. Silme. This is more relevant for Teo. There's a creature moving between these statues. You could wait for the creature to emerge before just hitting statues. So that, at this time, kind of hits you after you've seen it do its thing. Silme, was there anything else you want to do with your turn? I see your spell miss, unfortunately, as this gorgeous orb of fire energy sails past. Actually, again, this one, it hits the statue, but it just hits it in a non-critical part, unlike your previous attack, which was very critical. Anything else?
Nothing else.
Okay. Teo.
Alright, I will shout that out to everyone to like wait until that thing emerges from the statues. And I'm gonna ready my action to wait for it to appear again or pop out or whatever it's gonna do. But I'm just gonna aim for it.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you. Svendrin?
Yes, I will. If I ready the attack action, can I swipe twice when that triggers?
Yeah, I think so.
By the rules, no.
Okay.
Really?
No, you get one action, and it because the extra attack is when you take the attack action on
your turn.
Oh, it's
Oh.
You get to attack again.
Word.
Yes.
Gross.
Yeah.
Then I'll just position myself close and swing
Okay.
at the statue twice
Do it.
and be saving my reaction to swing at it. Let's do it. Dang, Minerva, you should have gotten a little closer. 11 to hit.
Misses.
And a net 1.
Misses. Important to note, it is
I'm
not.
dinging the statue, but like trying to goad it out.
Okay. Important to note, it is not taunted right now. Talia.
Correct.
I cannot see it yet. And when it emerges from the statue I know it's in, it might take the damage from the moonbeam, but I'm going to ready my action to move, because as an action, every time the moonbeam is up, I can use an action to move it 60 feet. I'm going to ready my action to move it to wherever that thing goes, effectively chasing it with my motion of the moonbeam. And I'm going to, if I can, I'm going to try to do so in a way that would not injure my friends along the way. But that will be my action, is I'm kind of grasping the kind of intangibleness of the magic, ready to shift it to wherever the thing tries to move to.
All right, for sure. Where did I put my?
You like
Oh,
shove
there
it
it
off
is.
to the right or something. No.
There it is. Okay. It's gonna see Minerva back there, and it's not gonna want to go for Minerva's angle, and it knows it's gonna have to deal with Svendra in one way or another. So it's gonna come out this way.
I will immediately move my moonbeam, trying to
All right.
engulf its form.
And Teo, you can also make your roll this time, and so I'll make a con save. I rolled poorly, as is going with this.
What is this
Adolin.
creature's rolls?
I know, I rolled a 7, so whatever his mod is, he fails. So crit, roll that moonbeam damage,
Nice.
and Teo, roll your damage. Or roll your attack.
16.
Nice.
So how does this work?
Radiant.
I can't take a bonus action, right? So
Fortunately, not.
but somebody is within
Yes.
5 feet
Yes,
of it,
I
so I
am.
still get sneaky attack, but I would just roll regular.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna sharpshooter it. I'm just gonna regular attack it.
Ooh.
Dang.
Damn.
And I miss. I hit the statue again.
Okay. You hit the statue, but Talia, your moonbeam goes right to the core of this creature, and it looks pretty harmed by what you just did to it. If I could do math, that'd be great. I did math. Okay. So that's that. It's gonna move over here, and Duvain, it enters your space, and it enters here, the statue, and it's gonna swing at you with its sword.
Could I have swung at it as it was flying
Yes,
away?
please do. Also note this thing has a different AC than the statues.
16.
16 hits.
Nice.
Steve, how do you parry as this stone sword comes at you? Because I did miss, but I want to give you the chance to parry it. Cool way. Sven, you did
Me?
11 damage.
13.
Yeah, Duvain, this thing swings at you once it inhabits the statue, but it misses. So how do you
Oh,
block it?
I still have my moon flame blade out, so I'm just assuming I'm actively swinging at this thing, so I'm just assuming I swing at where it's attempting to swing from.
Yeah, okay, perfect. So you break it like that. All right, so who's up? Minerva is up. She's gonna rush over. She's just gonna hack at this statue to try to break its home. She's gonna do 3 attacks with advantage. She gets a 19 and a 20. I don't even know how to do that. I don't roll her attacks enough. So that's 2d8 plus 4. Is that all? Okay, 12 damage to this statue. And then she's gonna roll again. Another sword attack with rapier, which misses. And then her last one, which is her booming blade, which hits. So she's going to do that. All right, this statue looks like it is like about to crumble after Minerva is done stabbing with her rapier. And it is Duvain's turn. And that thing is veiled and booming energy, so if it moves, it's going to take more damage.
Sorry. Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
My Zoom meeting just exploded and I lost all of my tabs. You did say it's my turn, right?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna swing with advantage with my flame blade right in front of me.
Perfect.
That's a flame blade.
23.
23 hits, roll your damage.
Huge catapult.
Huge catapult.
All right, it had 9 HP.
And fire damage.
Statue had 9 HP left, so how do you destroy the statue?
I am assuming since last turn I have not stopped doing what I'm doing, and I'm very unceremoniously, probably to Talia's dismay at my shitty form, just wailing on the fucking statue.
So you, through your wailing with this flame blade, wail right through the stone. It crumbles at the feet of this now bear creature, and the Adolin is standing there in front of you.
The
So
Adolin Colin is standing right there.
yeah, I think it's Adolin, but Adolin just comes to me more naturally. So Adolin it is. Silme, it's your turn. The creature is in front of you, not in a statue. You are mute. You're both muted.
Sorry.
It's not like literally right in front of me. It's like
No,
one
it's still
foot.
in front of Duvain and Minerva.
Okay, can I like get a good shot as to where it is? Like, can I actually see it?
Yeah.
Or am I just kind of
you
seeing
can.
like what's around?
No, you can see. You can strafe 2 spaces to your left and have a perfect shot.
Oh, excellent. Okay, I'm going to cast Firebolt on it.
Do it.
Come on. There it goes. For 10 damage.
It has 11 life, so you bring it down to 1.
Oh,
No, it had 10 health.
It had 11.
No, it had 10.
Teo? Well, still
wait,
make it
could I rush it? Could I rush it and do like an unarmed strike?
I don't know if you can
Yes.
do that as a bonus action. Can you?
Can I do that?
Only if you use your action to attack. You use your action to cast a spell.
Oh, that's not the same thing. Okay, never mind.
All right. Duvane, you're up. Or
Runs
sorry,
back.
you're up. Teo.
Alright, now I'm gonna aim at it, and I'm gonna use my bonus action to study my aim. Do my normal combo here. 12.
12 hits.
Say what? Alright.
I told you that has a different AC than the statue version.
You did say that.
You done did.
Roll damage.
All right. This thing is hanging on by like a sheer thread of celestial energy. And where does your arrow strike?
Right in the face.
So this thing's blurred out celestial face is struck. Your arrow disperses its form.
Yeah, get out of here.
Get.
Yeah.
My Spotify is being really weird.
A bunch of very refined elves start going, go on, get.
Go on, get out of here.
Don't get.
Oh no, the Always Sunny just starts spitting at him.
All right. So you've conquered the Adolin. I have to use the restroom. Do we want to take a real short bio break so we can finish this out? Okay.
Yes.
Did anyone get hit?
Yeah, did anyone take damage?
No.
I don't
I
think
didn't.
so.
That was awesome. Good work, team.
Jeez Louise.
I'm gonna go grab a drink.
The Lord Ruler. I am listening to Mistborn again. I've run out of audiobooks. You're muted. But
Nice.
it's so fun. It's so good.
It just re-listening to it, is it kind of almost Attack on Titan sense of you just understand so many of the like bits and pieces better? Because that's like my favorite thing about rewatching things.
Dude, I need you to finish that book because there's so much I want to talk about and like tell you stuff about the first book. That's like, oh, that's cool too.
I need to get out of that.
I might ask you to bring me another one. All right, hi guys.
Hola.
I can't believe how much I missed. Like
You didn't hit anyone.
Yeah, that was wild. Dude, I'm telling you, when you're DM, the enemies always miss.
I specifically tried to stay within 30 feet of everyone at all times so I could use my reaction to shield damage, and no one got hit.
No one's more disappointed than me, I promise you.
No, like I was so much more aware of it. I was like,
I mean, I'm a little disappointed, but it's okay.
Okay. All right.
introducing Taras.
So here's the deal. I didn't want to skip that because it was a really cool encounter. I'm going to try to keep us to 8. Is 8:15 okay? So 9:15 y'all's time in case, like, as the absolute latest, 15 minutes tacked on. I'll do my best to move this quickly. So we'll see how it goes. All right. So is there anything you guys are doing over the corpse of the stone? This thing dissolves away after it dies. Put it up one more time because it's so fun.
Does it leave behind any trace of ectoplasm, astral dust, anything of use or note that seems beautiful and evidence based?
Yeah, at least some dust behind. At least some sparkling dust. You don't need a check to pick up sparkling.
Talia will try and scoop it into just a small little velvet pouch that generally can hold like powdered silvers and stuff for spell casting, and she'll just scoop it into that.
I think like an idiot, I just deleted the image. But wait, no, it's right here. Okay, yeah. So you do that and you get the let's say dust of the Adolin. Probably I could come up with another term if I try later on. But yeah, it's super vanished right now. Okay. But you do get that dust.
Were the
Beautiful
statues like just solid stone? Were there any sort of pockets inside, any hidden compartments or anything? Okay.
No. And if I have you roll, I'd just be fantasizing something. But no, yeah.
Jelly-filled statues.
It was filled with jelly and cream. No. Just stone statues made animate by the presence of the enchanting Adolin.
He is.
Do we know someone knew what that creature was? Yes.
The two of you like got over 24 on it.
That's right.
So Tim and Steve I think knew. No, it was Tim and Svendrin.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you guys knew. Yeah, you knew what it was, and you can explain. All right. Anything else in this room before you kind of proceed through the big final doors?
Well, I think we've determined that this place is not threat-free, although I am exceedingly impressed with our group's cohesiveness and in combat. Good work, everyone.
Right. So
Which way are the doors? Are they ahead of us?
yeah, they're just further ahead of you, right past this point.
Ooh.
All right. So you move through them.
Yep.
Yeah, move
Right.
up to them.
You move up to them, and you see through them. They merge into like there's three, and they merge together into a hallway that looks out into a space that kind of that's dimly illuminated ahead of you. You have to walk through them.
Everyone be wary in our approach. Svenderin, you should retain the blessing of Sanaki for another few minutes.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Are we moving through?
I think so.
Okay. So as you progress forward and you walk into a space that is, you can still see the moon in the sky, but while in going through this tunnel and over the past few minutes, it's twilight has started to hit and daylight starts to peek through, illuminating some of this space. And what you see is what you have seen drawn on a page. You enter into a space that is surrounded a grove of trees, and in the center is a large stone structure of these massive arches interlocking around a central dais. I will present that to you now.
Oh
Yes.
my gosh, the callback.
PTSD.
Peony STD. Peony SD.
Peony. All right. How do you guys proceed?
Minerva, this is it. This is what was drawn on the page. We found it. Talia's just going to start wandering up toward it. Again, a little too enamored with the beauty and grandeur of it all to even surveil the surroundings for threats, but definitely start moving toward it.
Okay.
Also, I don't think we have control of our tokens.
Oh no! All right, why don't you guys keep telling me what you do as I grant you that control.
I'm gonna follow Talia, but I'm keeping an eye out. Do I see any dead wolf corpses?
Teo's never seen a wolf. What are you talking about? This hunter. You do not see any dead wolf corpses.
No dark dryads.
Yeah, human presence or any sort of humanoid presence.
Can y'all roll me? Anyone who would like to roll me a perception check?
Oh, for sure.
Definitely preoccupied, enamored.
Okay. Where are we at? Roll 20. So we have an 18, a 12, and a 17. Well, it's not that difficult to see this form, but before you do, Minerva will wander into, and she again just has a smile of elation on her face. She says, well, Topirian told no lie when he said that in a Leolor ruin he found an orrery. Duvain, do you recognize that?
But what do we do with it?
As you ask that question, Talia, you guys get close enough that you see what's resting in the center of this orrery. Is it just a mound of platinum? No. It's also kind of crystal. You watch as this heap of metal and crystal slowly arises. A neck cranes up and draconic wings unfurl. You see scales that are opalescent pale silver covering a metallic and crystal body. Semi-transparent silver fur runs down the chin, chest, back, and tail. And then one short horn curved forward from the nose and a longer one curved back from the head, together forming a shape that reminds you of a crescent moon. And in front of you arises a synthetic young moonstone dragon.
Synthetic, so not a natural one, but seemingly made from craft.
Yes.
Oh.
I have a different image to show you as well. If you'd like, if you're not familiar. Oh, it's so tiny, but you can see its body. That's actually the one I want. Yeah, so I'll put this up one more time. So see this? The blue and the green sheen are not there. This is clearly not a living creature, and it reminds you very much of the creatures you fought out front that were made of gold and silver that were also synthetic. But this one, instead of gold or silver, is platinum and crystal.
Wow.
And it looks at you, and you look at it.
I will try to greet it in Celestial as I did with the beasts outside.
Okay. What do you say to it in Celestial?
Be still, guardian of this place. We mean no harm, but to seek our kin. And that's it.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Oh, I have a better persuasion than I thought I did. Oh, it was almost above a 20.
Its wings like raise and it starts to stride towards you all ever so slowly.
I just will call out to the group. This may be a test, just as the creatures outside were. Prepare yourselves.
Is there anything anyone else is doing at this exact moment?
No, just taking my bow out.
We've got a bow drawn. Anyone else?
Dang, I already used
starting to cast a spell.
Is this like a, hey, we get an action?
Soft action. Anything like free object interaction. If you want to tell me you're starting to cast a spell, we can. That's what I'm kind of curious how people are prepping themselves for whatever they think is ahead.
I'm starting.
And you said there's moonlight coming in, or almost like the approaching dawn light coming in from above, right? Similar to okay. Cool.
This is open. There is no ceiling here.
I'm like reaching up into the sky as I begin to start muttering an incantation.
Okay. All right. Well.
Defensive positions.
On wings, gliding at you, the synthetic dragon leaps towards you all. And let's all roll initiative.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Woo! Nice.
Ooh,
what is
go
happening?
Team! Go team!
We're ready to go.
Oh.
Did my initiative come through? Wait, did I just roll?
You messed some. The turn order got weird.
No.
Unknown creature.
I'm going to delete all these, but we'll get them in right again. So go ahead and roll yours and tell me if you already did an initial one.
Already did.
So
I wanted to be part of the 20 party.
Is this a construct or
Contract's a good word for it.
Okay.
All right. Duvain, you were an 8. You are muted, but I heard you outside my room saying yes. All right. Who else needs? Selmay's a nat 20.
There's
Hey, Selma.
2, 20, and 20.
Selma, you get advantage on your first attack roll.
Wow.
Talia, you don't. You have a dirty 20.
Fuck off.
You're a dirty little 20.
You got a dirty little 20. Wait, which of you is first, though?
It's Silme. She got a nat 20.
Okay. Tails a 22. Duvain, you were a 8. I don't know why I didn't accept that. All right, and I did not roll Minerva yet. I don't know why it won't accept Steve's as an 8. Right.
You usually, you just gotta hit enter and not.
Is everybody on there?
It looks like it.
All right, gorgeous. Teo, the dragon is moving at you, but it hasn't like reached you yet. How would you like to proceed?
I'm gonna shoot an arrow at its face as well. I'm gonna sharpshooter it and steady my aim. 16.
A 16 could possibly hit. 16 does not hit.
Cool, that's my turn.
I wish
Sorry,
I could
buddy.
Help boost that or do something, but I got nothing.
Silme.
I am going to cast Chromatic Orb at advantage.
Nice.
At advantage.
Yes, true. I almost said why.
Why?
So why?
Why would you ever?
Yeah.
Wait, did it do it? I don't think it did. Hold
I didn't see him in D&D Beyond.
on. And I'm going to do poison damage.
Cool.
So why not?
Why not? Indeed.
Okay, I actually don't think it cast. Did it do the advantage piece? I don't actually think it did.
No.
No. So just roll another d20. Wait, I think it.
Rolling.
You rolled an 18. So yeah, roll one more d20. Just for the nat 20, because you are gonna hit it.
Okay.
All right. So you do 26 poison damage.
20 poison damage.
Oh, okay, perfect. So 20 poison damage. Excellent. So you watch as this thing is smote in the face as it comes at you all. Teo, you used movement, I guess. I think. Silme, did you want to use any movement?
No, I want to stay where I am.
Okay, sounds great. So Talia.
Fly, Tinafine. And I will conjure from the sky, almost pulling down a streaking minor meteor of moon flame, turn it into a bird, and summon my spiritual weapon with a bonus action next to the creature. And then send a sacred flame dove at it. So first I'll summon my spiritual weapon. I'll do it at 3rd level, upcast it a little bit. And so, that's a roll from me. Oof. Would you? Oh, thank you. So that goes over here and tries to attack it, but I assume unsuccessfully. But then I will send a dove of Moonflame at it. It will need to make a dex save. Oh, gross.
Oh, I can just do that here.
It fails. It takes 3 radiant damage.
Why not?
And then I will start to... is all of this over to the right kind of difficult terrain?
I'm going to say no. I think it's like roots and such, but I'm not going to
So
quite
difficult to step over, but I'll start like kind of backing away and strafing a little bit.
I'll say those
that'll be
blue
it for
things
my
are
turn.
like ponds, so the ponds can be, but like you can move around them.
Okay.
All right. It is Minerva's turn. Minerva is going to do a so you watch as Minerva takes out she has her rapier and her wand out, and she points with her rapier at this thing, and all you hear her say is Miriel. And she casts Tasha's Mind Whip at it. At second level. So it has to make a intelligence saving throw.
Yeah.
Which it fails. Right. So it's going to take 3d6. Psychic damage. Takes 8 psychic damage. More importantly, is math like doable by anybody, or just can I not do it? Because I can't subtract.
Yes.
I just couldn't get the most importantly, on its next turn, it must choose to move an action or a bonus action. It only gets one of the 3.
Oh, damn.
And then Minerva is going to use her bonus action to begin her dance and move over here. Let's leave that up. All right, it's the creature's turn. It is going to. I want to clarify something. These arches, where you see them touch down, they are present, but like here is obviously open walkway.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
How do you erase?
Oh.
Clear. Are you sure you want to delete all drawings? Yeah. Okay. A 60-foot line, that can't just be 5 by 5, right?
I think it is typically.
Oh.
You're like originated from here or something. I don't know.
All right. Well, it can't move, so Silme.
All right, I am going to.
Oh, you know what? What's a 90-foot cone?
All of us.
90 foot out.
Are we all in a 90-foot cone?
45 in either direction.
So we are all within a 90-foot cone?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. It's going to use its dream breath. Every creature needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Or fall asleep. Imagine.
Is there anything I have against this?
We can't sleep.
Think so.
I know, that's why I was saying it would be funny if you did
No.
a sleeping effect.
I'm asleep. I'm taking a nap.
Oh, Minerva needs to do it. How do I do? What is this? Constitution?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a
You tell
question for
us.
you.
Fuck off.
You're asking me?
Do you think that it's automatically? Oh, Constitution saving throw is +3 for me, which doesn't mean much. Minerva, Teo, slump to the ground, unconscious.
Unconscious?
Straight murdered.
Yeah, so what happened with this dream breath? What did we see? What kind of environmental effects are we working with here?
The DM's like, can you DM, please?
I'm just like, paint me a word picture.
I'm just teasing you. Okay, so the creature, because it can't move and do what it wants to do, instead, this slow mist, this greenish silver mist erupts from its mouth. And all of us begin coughing on this breath that we can't evade. And 2 of us, Minerva and Teo, slump unconscious to the ground, not sleeping, but not awake. Does anyone have a medicine check, medicine proficiency? Okay. Maybe they can be woke up. We don't know quite yet. That's the dragon's turn since it cannot move. Meaning it is now Spendrin's turn.
I will rush to Minerva and spend my action trying to rouse her.
It works. You shake her, and she like startles awake, and she is conscious for all intents and purposes. You have a bonus action and a little bit more movement left.
I got 35 left. Any chance? Oh, but I can't attack. I can get close. Rage. Okay. Tactic. Where do I want to position? It just fucking swamped all of us. So I'm gonna go.
But you rousing Minerva did functionally work.
Yes. There, and I will call my ancestors to me and rage.
Okay, you are just at the precipice of cover, but not quite covered there, just so you're clear. Not that you're aiming for that. I just want to like set the parameters of what I perceive as the open path available for movement. All right, anything else?
That is it.
Teo, I'm sorry, Duvain, your turn.
I'll shout out, someone shake Teo, get him up.
Also, since 2 people rolled 14, I want you to know 14 was meets it, beats it.
Nah. That could have gone bad.
That could have gone very poorly.
I don't know where Teo is. That one over there.
It's also just
Give me boring turn. Bonus action, wings. I am going to fly over here to stand in between. Go a little further. Stand in between Teo. As I start flying, has everyone seen Avengers Endgame or the one before it? Where they all start turning to dust. So imagine the whole turning to dust scene, but it's as Duvain starts flying forward, his skin starts crackling away, just revealing this like pure white moonlight. He turns into this moonlight being, basically just like himself, but made of pure moonlight. He's got extra wings, and his arms are distended and longer and much more feral and claw-like, and his face is much more feral, and he lands and just becomes an interposing force between this dragon thing and other people, and that's my turn.
So what are you doing?
Very cool. The weird new thing that you gave me.
Yes. Okay. And so you
This is my Nimbrithil wild shape of the Moonset Grove.
Okay, sounds great. And you are transforming or summoning something here?
Duvain's body goes to an ethereal plane and is replaced by some other ethereal force that is not actually Duvain.
Okay. And so Duvain is no longer here, and technically, this can be your wild shape form.
Beautiful.
For the intents and purposes there.
His monarch mantle expands into 2 very large wings.
Sounds great. Did you use your bonus action for your wings?
I did bonus action to just gain a fly speed for flare.
Okay, sounds good. So you've made yourself an interposing force. All right. It is Teo's turn.
Asleep.
Teo sleeps. incapacitated until damaged or awoken. Selma, your turn.
I am going to cast Firebolt on the dragon.
Okay. It is in your line of sight.
For 6 fire damage.
6 fire damage is 6 fire damage. 8. Oh shit. So it your firebolt does hit the face of this creature, and it glares at you, ready to attack anew. It is anything with your bonus action?
No, that is it.
Okay. Talia.
I will step over to Teolethalier and bend down to a knee and grasp your face and kind of wrestle your chest. Teo, come back. And use my action to rouse him. And then if he wakes, then I will say, Tinufine, occupy. And my spiritual weapon will attack the moon dragon.
Perfect. Go ahead and roll that attack.
18 to hit.
18 just hits.
Oh,
You salty
dope.
dog.
And since I upcasted this, it is this 2d8 plus 4. 16 force damage as my Moonfire Nightingale wreathes its face with flame.
Excellent.
Unless it resists it. Does it look like it's resisting any certain types of damage so far? This is force specifically, but
No.
okay. And then I will say, I'm sorry, Teo. I need to make myself scarce. And I will start backing away now that he is awoken.
Okay. Sounds great.
And that'll do it for my turn.
How much damage did you just do?
16.
Jeez. All right.
Looking rough.
Who is next? Me. All right. Minerva, freshly awakened, is gonna step this way. And with her action, she is going to bring together her wand and rapier and slice them apart. And from the sparks, she creates these star sparks that then circle her head like a small crown. And she is going to do what she does, which is her action and bonus action to launch 4 of her meteors at this creature. Her star sting strike. And so that's 2d6. So that's 8d6.
On a hit or a save or?
Yeah, well, it has to, each creature within 5 feet where the meteor explodes must make a dex save. A creature takes 2d6 on a failed save. Each creature within 5 feet point where the meteor explodes. Is each one its own dex save?
I think we've gone over this. You can kind of handle that the way your DM judgment calls it.
I'm just going to do 2 dex saves, one for her attack and one for her bonus action, because her attack is 4d6, and then the next one. So we'll do 2 dex saves here. If I can find my creature. Dex.
The Dargan.
Wow. Oh, those say Minerva, but those are the Moonstone. They both fail. So this is just straight up 8d6 of fire damage.
Nice.
All right, so as Minerva makes this crown, she then launches 4 of her meteors at it, dealing 32 damage to this thing. And that is all of her turn. She's just going to take the turn to get a little more cover there. And it is the Moonstone Dragon's turn. At the end of Minerva's turn, though, the creature is going to cast use an ability. And it's going to launch a radiant fireball at, actually no, it's going to cast a fairy fire on the couple people gathered here. That's a fairy fire is actually a little bigger, right? Or is it smaller?
I think it's 20 by 20, so 4 by 4 squares.
So like that.
Yeah.
Not that it really matters. Okay. So can I have the three people there please make dex saves? As the dragon's eyes glow, and like its body, these silver pearlescent little orbs glitter around you. And you do need to succeed this with a 14 or higher. All right, Juvain, you're just covered in this like glittering substance, but that's all that happens. And then the dragon has its turn. Also, how do you delete drawings? Clear drawings. Clear.
You gotta click on them, and it helps if you zoom in.
We good. All right. So the dragon is going to fly up over this, and it actually was just hit by Minerva by quite a lot. So it's going to go straight at Minerva. And oh no, you know what it's going to do? It's going to go over here, get in a line with you guys, and it's going to launch a Moonlight Breath at Silme and Teo. So can I have you guys please make dex saves?
Another one?
Yeah.
Another one.
All right. Teo, you're taking half of this damage.
Oh.
Silme, you're taking all of it.
I'm gonna
20.
reduce your damage, Silme, a little bit, but
So 20 damage to Silme, 10 to Teo.
I will spend my reaction to take away 7 of that from Silme. As my ancestors rush in to try and brunt some of the blast.
Oh no! Did something happen to our initiative?
Mm-hmm.
What just happened to our initiative? Christ. All right, can everyone do me a little bit of homework? I need you guys to go back and check your initiatives. All right, I'm just gonna write it on paper because the tracker is being tedious.
8.
I think Minerva was like 14. Can anyone
15.
check her for me?
She was 15.
With Dragon at 14.
All right, and then Teo, Silme, Talia was also 20.
Yeah, but Silme was ahead of me because of her nat 20.
And then Svendrin was 11. All right, in a sec, I'll try to get back to that. I'll try to put it back up. I think just me rolling in my encounter just messed with it for some reason. All right, so that the dragon is going to then, with a little bit of movement, just hover 20 feet up in the air. Svendrin, it is your turn. Let me check though, because it has 80 movement. Oh yeah, that's plenty. So it's hovering 20 feet in the air right now.
That is a question. What do I do? Are there any trees that are like that I could quickly scuttle up like 5 or 10 feet to try and swing at this thing? Or is it pretty isolated in the air?
You'd have to get 40 feet this way, and then you could start scuttling, but it's pretty isolated. So if you can throw something, that might be really advantageous.
I sure can. I'm going to throw a dagger, which has a range of 20, so I'm going to go run underneath it.
Got it. I'm going to reroll its Dream Breath, by the way, to see how that goes.
Uh-oh.
Damn. And I will throw a dagger. I will throw my dagger at this thing.
Do it up. I shouldn't reckless.
You can't. Reckless is for melee.
You're that as well.
I thought about that.
Okay, so I will inspiration to throw again. Or to re-roll the throw. No, it's 18, isn't it? I rolled a 17 to hit.
It is 18. I'm sorry, buddy.
No. Reckless attack.
I'm not.
When you make your first attack on your turn, you can decide to attack recklessly. It does not have to be a melee attack. It can be a ranged attack.
The rules lawyer.
Ooh, that's awesome and not in line
Yeah.
with what my other campaign agreed on. I
Giving
wonder
you
why we made
advantage
that
on
call.
melee weapon attacks rolls using strength during this turn, but attack.
Listen,
rolls
I didn't
against
read
you
the
have-
next.
There it
I
is.
didn't read the next sentence. I didn't read the next sentence. Shut up.
Amazing.
I literally had to scroll down a tiny bit more on the
That's so
page.
funny.
Because I was like, I thought
I
we
was
already
like-
went over this with.
I was like,
Spencer and
everything
archery.
I knew was wrong.
I feel like I remember Grog doing that, just like making reckless attacks with like a throwing
chain
axe
of
or
throwing.
something.
Okay,
The
so
chain
can
of
so you
returning,
can't
whatever
do it.
was.
So it is Dubane's turn next.
It
Perhaps.
sure
Yes. Yeah.
will be because I attacked it, so my rage will not end, even though I missed. Okay. Yep,
All
that's
right.
it.
Sorry, I just want to go. I have some sensitive time, so I want to keep us rolling.
Yes.
Dubane, you're up.
I just responded to your text, Mike. This thing is 40 feet in the air, 20 feet in the
20.
air.
Yeah.
Is there a rock nearby I can pick up?
Sure. There's a rock.
I'm gonna pick up a rock and throw it at it.
Okay, you do that.
I'm just gonna make a +3 to hit because that's what all my other stuff is. 8 to hit.
It's now's
Doesn't
the time.
hit.
Now's the time. We're fighting a dragon. Now's the time.
I will move. I will just move over here to interpose myself a bit.
All right. Teo, you're up.
I'm now awakened. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm assuming I'm on the ground.
Yes.
Okay, so I have to use half my movement to get up, which means I can't steady my aim, which means I'm just going to do a normal attack against it.
Okay.
Yay!
Hell yeah.
What?
Who needs advantage?
So much.
Although I should have sharpshootered it.
No, you should not have. You did great.
18?
Yeah, that's some damage there, and then I'm gonna move 15 feet to there.
All right, so you moved over there, and then you. How much damage did you do it? I don't know how to interpret that.
25? Because not sneak attack, right?
Right.
It is sneak attack.
Jesus.
There's no one within 5 feet of it.
Yeah, there is.
He's 20 feet in the air.
20 feet in
Spenderen's
the air.
20 feet below the dragon.
Oh, bummer. That's fine.
So how much damage?
2-5.
Still a big hit though.
It's 13 and 12. Yeah.
And I duck down behind this wall with my bonus action.
Okay. You duck down, you hide. Go ahead and roll me a stealth check.
I make stealth checks with advantage, so 15.
Okay, sounds great. Silme is up next, and I almost have the turn order done. I just need to add Sfendra and 25 is a great hit. Where the dragon were you aiming for?
Its ear. Get rid of that hearing.
Sfendra, can you move one to the right? I don't want to move my dragon.
sorry.
No, thank you. I just needed. You can move back right now. Thank you. All right, you aim for its ear and you clip it, and you're well, more than clip it. You like lodge your arrow in its head with your bow. So you do a hefty blow to it. So you are up, Sfendrin. I do believe. Oh wait, no, Silme. Sorry.
All right, I'm gonna cast Phantasmal Force, which will create a illusion in the mind of the dragon, and that illusion, if it passes the intelligence save, will be a very large, very brightly glowing moon that's on the ground, and it kind of looks like it's like a swirling portal, and my goal is to have the dragon fly towards it, towards the ground, as if it's like a portal to the ground.
I got it. All right, let's do this intelligence check.
Okay, it fails.
All right, so your dragon, this illusory dragon that is perceiving is above it, and you're trying to drive it to the ground. That's what I'm hearing? Okay, sounds great.
Which it does take damage when this stuff happens, but I think it's up to the discretion of you, what sort of damage it takes. If it's fall damage or if it's crashing into the ground, what sort of damage that does.
Okay, excellent. I'll check that. And Talia, your turn is about to start. All right, Talia, you're good. So it's going to do 1d6 at the start of its turn, I believe.
Okay.
Then I'll make that be fall damage. I like that idea.
With that, am I good to go?
Yes, you are. Sorry.
I will. Tinufien cannot quite reach the Moonstone Dragon, but I will use my bonus action to have it fly in that direction, trying to close the distance 20 feet. And then I'll say, I'm sorry, Tinufien. I will try to give you aid. And I will summon a small mote of Moonflame into my palm and blow. And like dandelions taking light onto the wind, 1,000,000 little tiny Moonfire doves spiral out and try and engulf this thing as I cast Fairy Fire on the center of the dragon.
Very cool. All right, I'm going to make a dex save.
Fail.
All right.
So now it is, all those tiny little birds are just sticking to its form and highlighting it. So all you guys' stuff at it is going to be with advantage. And that is my turn. And I will just continue to kind of strafe around there.
Gorgeous. All right, Minerva's turn. What's she going to do? She has a bonus action. She wants to take advantage of that advantage. So she's not going to use her 2 remaining meteors. She's going to Blade Song. And she's going to hustle over here. And then swing twice with advantage.
If the dragon were on the ground.
And did the dragon move to the ground?
The dragon hasn't had its turn yet, actually, has it?
Correct.
Okay, so she's not going to do that. She's going to spell meteor. Once a meteor reaches its destination or impacts against a solid surface, I'm just going to have her aim the meteors at the creature and try to have it hit there. So I need to make a dex save. It fails.
Dude, this
so
thing cannot be dexterous today.
I know. So she's gonna do 46 as she launches her last 2 meteors at it. All right. Good roll,
Jesus.
Minerva. So that's her bonus action, and then she's going to use her her action to cast a she can cast a spell, chromatic chord. And so from her wand, she's gonna launch a chromatic orb at this thing, which is a spell attack. This way. She does not hit, unfortunately. So her chromatic orb goes wide, and that is Minerva's turn, meaning it is now the dragon's turn.
So it would seem.
All right. So the dragon is going to, at the end of Minerva's turn, it's going to create a creature. A very small creature. Humanoid in shape and size. And this creature is going to look familiar, but it's not quite the same creature that you just faced. But what you're looking at, it reminds you of it, and it's going to make it over here. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Okay.
Another me.
Another you. And it's going to create an Alseed, and the Alseed is like celestial in appearance, and it looks like a small star person. And let's hope it works this time. It does. This is what it looks like. And the Alseed is going to use its action on this turn in combat to cast Cure Wounds from a distance on the dragon.
Smash.
And I know how much that is, but I'm not telling you guys. And the dragon's going to have its turn now. So at the beginning of the dragon's turn, I'm going to check if it rolls, if it regains its moonlight breath. Which it does not.
Will Silmay's illusion on it take the cause any actions?
Yes. So let's say at the beginning of its turn, it's going to take 1d6, which was a 1. Sorry to say. It's going to take 1d6, and it's going to move to the ground. I'm going to say it's 4. So it does believe this illusion is real. It believes that there is this nightmarish dragon above it, which is going to move it to the ground. And I'm just going to, for the purposes of this, it will not fly up, but it can still move horizontally on the ground. And it will be afraid of it, but it is still going to, because I don't think that actually causes fear, right?
So the language of the spell is like it actually believes that
it has like the realistic effects of fear of like it wants it's afraid of it, but it doesn't have like the disadvantage on
so it's just gonna attack.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's gonna attack
like
normally.
it's I think it's more like the movement stuff, like it's keeping away from it, but it's not.
Oh, I also forgot that it was fairy fired, so I just re-rolled Minerva's chromatic orb, but it was still too low. All right, so it is going to land, and it is relatively wise, and it knows who did the dirty and put the fairy fire on it, so it's going to slither around. Sven, or not Sven. Oh, wait, Sven, you will get an attack of opportunity as it moves away from you.
Hell yeah.
With advantage.
With advantage.
Kill it.
Duvain, you're going to get the same, and it's going to come over here and go for Talia.
Thing's a little feisty piece
And
of
having
shit.
hit it, my ancestors will harrow it, giving it disadvantage on attacks against anyone other than me.
Yes.
Is that
that's
on
amazing?
Is that just on your turn, though?
That is a great question.
No.
I would be shocked if
While
opportunity
raging,
attack.
the first creature you hit with an attack on your turn.
There we go. Okay,
Damn.
sorry. But 26 damage. Oh no, 26.
12.
You do 12.
This would be 14 becomes because it doesn't want to add in my rage.
Okay, so 14 damage.
Correct.
Okay.
Advantage, Devane.
Sounds great. So I'm gonna swing at you, Talia.
Okay. Swing.
Multi-attack. 3 hits are coming at you.
Yikes.
Damn. Oh, that would have been so good.
Miss. I will silvery barbs the second one in celestial to say, I am not your enemy, child of moonlight.
Ooh,
So that second one needs to get re-rolled, which still hits. And I'll use my inspiration to try and have that re-roll. Hey, but then the final 23 does hit me, in fact.
12 damage as it claws through you.
Okay, I will take 12 damage, and I need to succeed on a
You're really funny.
concentration check.
Do you give yourself advantage for the silvery barbs?
Oh, true.
Yes, I do. Thank you,
Sven, you're on deck.
literal Sven. Yay!
Opa.
So it is still fairy fired.
Svendron, you are up.
Goddamn right. I got a clean line. It just had its turn. I'm gonna run at it, swing twice with advantage. I imagine.
It is still fairy fired.
19 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
For 9 damage.
Okay.
And then... Dang, 15 to hit. But it's... I already have advantage. I can't get another advantage from your blessing earlier.
That is true.
Okay, so that one misses. And I move 10 feet away from it.
How much was your attack of opportunity against it for? That was the... There's so many rolls here.
Yes, I did not. It was 14 damage on the opportunity.
Okay, plus 9 here.
And then plus 9 here.
Okay, excellent. Thank you.
And then I leave its range.
All right. Our ethereal version of Duvain, it is your turn.
Wait, are you talking about the hot dude that got summoned, or
No, you.
The hot,
me?
the hot version of you, yeah.
Where's this thing that got summoned? Because I don't see it on the map.
He originally had it like
it does not seem to be on the map.
It's right next to Silme.
That is Steve.
No, that's me.
This is Steve.
You don't see this butterfly thing next to Silme?
No, I see that.
The butterfly thing next to Silme is Duvain.
Okay, I got you. It is gone. I'm gonna say this. Once it appeared and healed, it blinked out of existence. That's why it's not there.
Oh, it phased out.
Yeah. I should also mention the dragon is looking exceptionally hurt. I have forgotten to mention this. The dragon is like its movements are looking exceedingly jerky.
Oh, action search.
Duvain, and it's on the ground still.
Yep. It is not flying thanks to
Beautiful.
Selmay's spell.
Beautiful. You see Duvain's wing, or sexy Duvain. Well, Duvain is sexy. Sexier Duvain.
Ethereal Duvain.
You see his wings flapping with every step, and he like blinks as he's running up towards this thing.
Nice.
Fangs growing, wings growing, and he has like even bigger wing blades growing out of his arms. And he's going to make 2 attacks at this thing. The first one is going to be this +3. And then the second one is going to be
advantage, because
okay, so this is the first one.
fire.
So the first one is a 22 to hit.
22 hits.
And it's going to be 1d6 plus 2. 6 piercing damage.
We are rolling this as psychic damage, remember?
Yes, because it's purely ethereal psychic. 6 psychic damage as his psychic teeth sink into the dragon's wing.
Can I have you roll your second attack?
You certainly can. And we're doing this at advantage. A 21 to hit.
All right, roll that psychic damage as well.
And we're doing some psychic claw damage. 2d4 plus 2.
What butterfly has teeth?
A sexier Duvain butterfly has teeth. Five
That's
psychic
proboscis.
slashing damage.
All right, those 2 attacks together are enough to defeat this synthetic dragon.
Go.
Can I have you describe your final? How do you want to do this?
Cover of GQ magazine, Duvain continues to blink around this dragon, just like very what's his name? Not Night Stalker. X-Men.
Yeah,
Sabretooth? Nightcrawler.
Actually, Nightcrawler, Sabretooth.
But silver.
Combine them with butterfly wings.
Proboscis.
Yes. Just like blinking around, slashing, blink, slash, blink, bite, blink, slash, blink, bite, all around this dragon. Just floating around, and I'm assuming, and I picture he does like one big one to the head, and just does he punch? No, he doesn't punch.
Oh, can I
just?
I mean, so I'm
You
picturing.
take it.
I'm picturing at this time the dream astral version of Duvain does this biting attack, and then with his hand that in this ethereal form kind of sharpens, you just puncture right into this creature's brain, and then psychic damage from your form like permeates it, and it halts in its step, like positioning, and then very gradually just wilts to the ground. And you have accomplished defeating this creature.
Woo.
So you are at this time alone. Your party wants alone again in the orrery. We're pretty much almost to the conclusion of our arc. I would like to get everyone a chance though to do like, how would you like to interact in this space in our like final moments of gameplay? Yes.
I will begin casting augury.
Okay, I'm gonna write that down. I got augury.
Augurari.
How else are you guys? You can investigate how you want. I'm not saying it's 100% rushed, but just like, how would you like to proceed? Spendrin, you know?
I will grab out some bandages and begin bandaging Silme and try and not disturb Talia and try and bandage her up. And Teo, I think you got hit. I don't remember who all got hit.
I did.
And Svendrin will apply some general first aid.
Excellent. That's not a vibe. All right. Talia, your augury. Silme, what are you up to? Anything you want to investigate while you're in this space?
After I get my band-aids, I'm gonna kind of walk around, and I was wondering if maybe I see any like religious iconography that would maybe clue me into what this space is used for.
Excellent. Can you go ahead and roll me that? Duvain, how are you proceeding?
I am assuming so.
Ooh, nice check.
Nice. In the waning, I don't know how long this lasts. In the waning moments of this ethereal persona I have, I'm going to start probably scaling the orrery, looking again. The intelligence of Duvain is still there, and the drive of Duvain Loon Song is still there. For I need proof of the Sun Elves. I need something. So I'm just going to be looking for anything.
Okay, Teo.
Wait, so did the dragon disappear? Or is his body still there?
Its body is still there. It's just in a heap.
Oh,
Yeah, I was gonna walk to the center, but I'll just check out this uh dragon, and my thoughts are just like, what is this thing and why did it attack us? That's what I'm gonna be thinking about.
Okay. Teo, can I have you make me either nature or make a nature check? Duvain, can I have you also make me a investigation check? Silme,
Inspiration.
what?
Oh, I said I was using my inspiration.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, you guys have inspirations, all of you.
I'm also using my inspiration to pretend I'm roulette.
Okay, actually, I'm sorry.
Didn't
Steve.
help.
Steve, I'm so sorry. I want this to be a nature check. You can just roll fresh. Just ignore those investigation checks because that was my bad for telling you the wrong thing. Okay. Hey. All right. Silme, you rolled 23. So, Silme, I'm going to say that you kind of are investigating the nature here, and the nature is gorgeous. It's these very pristine trees that actually do remind you of the Emerin in general, that the leaves in your area where you live turn pink instead of yellow and red during the autumn. And these trees are reminiscent of that. You're drawn, as is Minerva, to the dais. Once at the dais, you start looking at the stonework. That's the stonework dais that's underneath these stone arches. And there are interesting carvings here. And the more you look at them, the more they call to mind the shape. The relief of this stonework is in the shape of the continent of Eridon. That's etched into the entire platform. So across the entire dais here, the platform creates the form of your continent. And Minerva is studying that with you. Teo, you go investigate the body, and you are well versed in the animals. Like you spend a lot of time outdoors. This is not an animal. This is a construct. But it did act like an animal, and it acted territorial. Like it was protecting its own. You've seen wolves protect their children. You've seen bears protect their territory. This was set here as a defensive, protective element of this orrery. And
I tell Sven that to try to make her feel bad that we had to kill it.
All right, Teo, Duvain, you are scaling the orrery in your astral form. You're very light. I'm going to say it's really easy for you to move. And you're trying to maybe get a vantage of, like, again, your Duvain Loonsong, trying to kind of, in a sense, even though you haven't communicated this, earn the title of Loonsong.
Correct.
So you're looking far abreast of this area, and then you start to focus, instead of like looking all over and scaling, you start to look at what you're actually climbing. And then it comes to you, something that of all the Loonsongs, only Duvain would understand. You're scaling Druidic language. And if Steve remembers, none of us knew Druidic back when we checked on the previous orrery, but Duvain is recognizing a language he's familiar with.
Does he know Druidic?
You're a Druid.
He does!
So you pick out runes that this isn't necessarily, like, Druidic isn't a full-on language per se. And these aren't coherent statements.
It's like math.
It's like math. The math you're reading, if you insist on thinking of it as math, is terms for sky, star, blood, earth, water, and beast. Other terms as well, generally in hieroglyphics. Do you want those again? In quick succession. Star, sky, blood, earth, water, and beast. All right. And Minerva is busy investigating with Silme. And so at this time, she's fully occupied in that. I do believe that just leaves Talia.
So Talia completes her casting of augury. And her main question to Sehanine the Moonweaver is, do I have what we need? Duvain, do we have what we need to glean understanding of this structure to activate it? And I'm going to take over and say that as she asks the question, she enters a sort of avatar state. She expends a use of her channel divinity. Moonlight blasts from her eyes, and she instinctively begins to look upward and sing and chant in Celestial, beseeching Sehanine for guidance. And then after a moment, her melody stays in the air humming, and she looks around at all of you and says, would all of you please gather around me for a moment? Within the circumference of this structure.
Did we just switch narrators?
I believe I was ruminating on the idea of by sun indication, by moon dire warning. It is dawn now. You can see the light of the sun making its way in the sky. But I don't think this is referring to time of day any longer. I think this thing is meant to be activated by either the Alealor, the Sunborn Elves, or us, the Ithilwinge, the Mooncrest Elves. Look upward. And as her melody still sings in the air, the druidic runes of the archways begin to pulse and brighten, and specific sections glow more brightly than others. The ground around you begins to vibrate, almost humming with the sonic resonance of Talia's singing. The melody that's not coming from her voice anymore, but is just hanging in the air. And the stone archways begin to shift and grind and turn, parts of them embedding further into the ground, the other end of the archway rising further out of the ground. Many of these archways grinding and rotating in different patterns. And as you look up past these shifting archways into the sky above, you see what seems to be a slowly rotating sky. Distant stars in the dawnlit atmosphere above, glinting brighter than usual, slowly shifting position until you hear over the next minute or so an impact of heavy stones slamming into place, and the archways stop moving. The runes continue to glow brighter and brighter by the second, and within the circumference of this radial structure, you can see that the brightest runic sections of the structure are perfectly matching a constellation pattern shining in the sky of Serea, the winged deer, a constellation that Elvish cultures and specifically the Ithilwinge hold dear, which represents the hunt, anticipation, and at its very core, the future. And as that constellation shines brightly in the sky, an unexpected astral position considering it the time of year, the light from the starlight is focused directly downward. Through the glasswork around the space, reflecting in all the pools around you, funneled and focused into a thin beam of light that blasts down into a specific point on the stone slab dais you are all standing on. And as noticed by, I believe, Silme and Minerva, which appears to be an approximation on this dais of the continent of Eridon, this thin beam of light is pointing directly into the heart of where the Emerald Forest should be, and specifically in the exact position of the Moonset Grove Athenian. Talia mutters to herself, dire warning. Minerva, we need to get home right now. And looks at her friend with a sincerity that lacks its usual playful competition. And Minerva meets Talia's gaze, looks out at all of you, her closest allies and dear confidants, pulls out the spell scroll that she had retrieved from her study yesterday morning before she came to collect all of you. And she begins to mutter an incantation. And that is where we will conclude things for today and pick up things next time with the main party of heroes as we go back in time slightly to see what they were up to while this was going on, and then we will see what has just happened here.
Oh, fuck.